Welcome to another episode of Banter and Babble. I am the Dude79, and joining me always, my esteemed colleague, Mr. Fanboytone. Mr. Fanboytone, don't get stage fright right now. You got a whole show to go through, bro.
Oh, shit.
How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing all right. I feel like I'm glowing.
You are glowing.
Am I glowing?
You have an aura about yourself. It's your holy aura.
My holy aura.
Yeah, either that or your COVID's acting up again. It's one of those two. We're not really sure.
These days.
We're not really sure. First of all, big shout out to our boy King Cuddles. Thank you so much for that raid, man. Really appreciate you per usual. Tone, here we are, man. It's another episode of B&B.
It is. It's not Monday.
It is not muddy, and that's why we don't let Tone handle the marketing, because he fucking advertises the wrong fucking day. I don't know if you guys just saw it, but on Instagram and other various less reputable sites, he says, well, hey, it's Monday. It's not Monday, bro. It's Wednesday.
You can have a hump day on a Monday.
I mean, you can, but that's after work when the kids are asleep and the wife is
right,
home.
Right.
Anyways.
You go through your credit cards.
Anyways, that's another episode. We got a lot of stuff to talk about tonight. We've got a big holiday next week, arguably the best holiday of the year.
Absolutely. Good point.
I mean, you know what? You can't even argue it. Fuck off. If you don't think next week is the best holiday, if you don't think Thanksgiving is the greatest holiday of the year, I don't want to talk to you, and I don't want to know you. I don't trust you.
Right.
I think that makes you a terrible person.
I absolutely agree.
Unless you're super skinny, then maybe I can see why you think something else is cool. But I like to have a reason to go to my doctor and be like, those numbers might be a little high this week. They might be a little high.
Sorry about the cholesterol, Doc.
The best holiday the year was November 12th. Look at Brian's all hyped about Next Gen. We're going to be talking about Next Gen tonight. St. Patrick's Day, yes, before I had kids, Forge. St. Patrick's Day was an amazing holiday before I had kids.
I can only imagine with you. I've seen the pictures.
Dude, you know what? The thing I always liked about St. Patrick's Day, before kids, when my pullout game was strong, we would go to, because normally the NCAA tournament would start somewhere around that time of St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So we would go to Beef O'Brady's in Saginaw, and we would get there at 10 a.m. and have like a table of like 10 of us. And we would sit there and drink until the last game at like 11 o'clock at night. We would run up our bills something fierce, drinking green beer, eating wings, and just, I mean, it was a marathon.
It was a mess.
Dude, I feel like I'm pushing it watching like one half of football right now. If I have a couple of years, I'm like, fuck, I gotta go home and go to bed. That's what happens when you get old. Don't have kids. And we'll talk about why you shouldn't have kids. That'll be our first topic tonight. It's going to be an interesting one.
Full circle. But
Tone, first, what are we drinking? This is something I'm really excited about.
So our friend out there in internet land, Black Magic, a gentleman I've known for a long, long time, actually around the same times, used to be my main bar buddy for a couple years. Yeah, trouble. But Yingling,
dummy.
What?
Yingling.
Yin Yang Twins?
Jeez, wow, what an embarrassment.
So this is the Hershey's Chocolate Porter. I gave this a pretty good score, I believe, on Untapped. I think I gave it like a 4.5.
3 out of 5, I think it was. Yeah, it's
4.5. What?
Just joking.
Stop
Shut
it.
up.
This is... Now, porters sometimes have a bite. This does not have a bite.
No,
this is smooth, chocolatey. Like you're literally like what you would want if it says it's a Hershey chocolate bar in beer form. And this is awesome.
I wish I knew. I can't taste anything lately, so I mean,
oh my God,
I'm sure.
Please stop it.
I'm still running that bit, dude. I keep thinking immediately when you mention this, I keep thinking about mixing that with this, some Screwball peanut butter whiskey. I can only imagine this combination is probably pretty lethal. It's like having like a Reese's peanut butter.
Should probably a little bit in the beer.
A little bit in the. Can you put whiskey in beer?
You can do whatever the fuck you want. This is Banter Babble.
Banter and Babble. We do what the fuck we want up in this bitch. I'll put it in yours.
Put it. All right. Oh God,
you tell me what it's like. You tell me when to stop.
Don't go crazy though. Either.
I'm not going to. There you go. Try it. Shake it up. Don't do it.
Don't do.
I hope this tastes like shit. Let me know if it tastes like shit.
Hang on, I'm doing the like washer and dryer shit.
Oh man.
That's
how my first was conceived.
On the washer?
We got home. It was a wild night.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. See what this is like. Shut up. Is it good or is it really bad?
Really fucking good.
Okay, hang on.
Well, we Forge and some of our crew with Cap and some of us, we like to take Angry Orchards and dump Fireball in them. So they're having like a Angry Fireball. I don't know.
This can't be good.
It's good. Why wouldn't it be good? It's fucking peanut butter and chocolate, dude. It's pretty fucking good, actually.
It's not bad. I definitely like this straight. Well, maybe we'll do some shots later because I know you'd like to do shots.
Oh God, yeah, I love peanut butter too.
Screwball peanut butter whiskey.
Why not?
Yeah, this is really good. This is a really good pour.
Yeah, thank you, Black Magic, for this. And again, if anybody wants to give us beer to drink on the show, we'll never tell you no.
Bronzy said it best. Whiskey with beer, you should be in the clear. I think I remember hearing that before.
What if I shit my pants?
I don't really remember that night.
Yeah, thank you. We
yes,
appreciate
Black
it.
Magic, thank you so much. We really appreciate that.
That's
Appreciate you. Tone, what have you been doing this week, man? Oh, wait, working like a fucking dog.
Yeah, mostly working. Honestly, I've been trying to beat Batman Arkham Knight when I can.
Next gen systems come out, and
I'm playing Batman Arkham.
to finish a game from 7 years ago.
And here's why. And I want to get done this year. My goal is to get done. There's about 8 games from last gen I've got in my backlog that I have to get done.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to start anything big before Cyberpunk comes out in a couple weeks. And I want to play Valhalla, but I'm like, I'm not going to start Valhalla and then 3 weeks later have to stop so I can play Cyberpunk because that's what's going to happen. Everything's going to stop for Cyberpunk. So I've done that. I want to beat that this week. My goal is tomorrow, and then just focus on the multiplayer games, mostly Ghost #1, and then Marvel Avengers again, and then a little bit of
just wait for Marvel's Avengers
Squadrons.
for the PS5 update. That the update's not going to be. They pushed everything back because they're trying to fix all the issues with the game. Just push Avengers.
So
back.
okay, so maybe some Squadrons, and then I'll work on Ghost mostly. So that's really about it. I honestly, my allergies have been killing me all week. I haven't been doing much of anything. Okay, here we go.
That is spot on. Buried alive. He takes too many bathroom breaks to finish it. He can't even finish a fucking show. So yeah, I don't. He probably. That's why it took him 17 years to finish Final Fantasy VII. That's amazing. It's a short game, dude.
I powered through that shit in like a month.
You didn't power through it
for the time that I play games. I powered through that shit.
Whatever. What have I been doing? Playing a lot of next gen stuff, but we're going to talk about that in a little bit. That'll be one of our topics tonight as well.
Yeah, you've just been playing Destiny. You've been playing last gen game.
But important notice. PT or PC was it PSA? PSA, not PTA. Quick PSA. It is November 18th.
Is it?
Yes, November 18th.
Is it?
Which means the next show is December 2nd, which means
you
have this show.
That's the day after my birthday.
At 9:30.
That's the day.
December 2nd.
After.
To enter to win. Owen, would you do the honors? Please?
You want me to do the honors?
I want you to do the honors.
All right.
An opportunity to win yourself
a
PlayStation 5.
Get the glare out of there a little bit.
Yeah. It's bright in here, man. These are studio lights.
This is light. We actually gonna put a system in this?
Well, I mean, it's a bar. There's a lot of lights in here.
No, no, the box is empty.
Well, what'd you say was in it earlier? You sick fucking pervert.
Cum socks.
Oh my god, that's disgusting. Blades, thank you so much for that. I'll appreciate you.
What is that?
But yes, you guys and gals.
Wait, how do they win that?
How do they win that? I will show you how to win that. You can enter right here. Click that link. Get in there. Sign up however you want to sign up. And on December 2nd, the next show, at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time.
In 2 weeks.
We're going to announce the winner live. Somebody is going to win a PlayStation 5 disc version and a $50 PSN card.
That's sweet.
Courtesy of a member of this community, the $50 PSN card, who wishes to remain anonymous. We appreciate you very much, though.
You very much.
A very kind and generous offer.
Very nice offer.
Get in there. Josh is claiming it.
He's ready.
He's got his best Prime Didact going on. But guys, gals, get in here. Make sure you enter to win. If you know any friends or family that are looking for a PlayStation 5 that you think would enjoy this show, enjoy the content that we push out, have them join. Come hang out, watch a show, and they can enter in. Again, we're not posting this on Twitter. We're not posting this on social media to avoid any of the bots that come rushing in to, steal the thunder and ruin the fun for everybody.
Right.
We want somebody from our community to win this, so make sure you're not posting the link anywhere unless you're just sending it to a friend saying, hey, come over to this Banter Babble show. These guys are idiots. They get drunk, and they talk about cool shit. Send them our way. Have them enter in. We want somebody to win from this show, from this community. We really appreciate your support. So you have one more show. You have this entire show, and then 30 minutes of the next show to enter in to win a PlayStation 5 disc version. King Cuddles, who do I enter? Who do I enter? Him. He told me beforehand, always him. Always him.
Are you buying dinner?
Oh, no.
I mean,
you don't need dinner, dude.
No dinner?
He just needs the back of a cab. Whoever you want, Cuddles. Yeah.
Back of a cab.
Wah, wah, wee, wah.
Whoa, wee, wah. That's right.
All right, so we got a lot of good stuff to talk about tonight. We got a movie we want to talk about. We're going to start off with that first.
Yes.
Do we have anything else you want to touch on at the beginning? Are we good? Other than tips?
Just a tip?
Just a tip. All right, moving on to our first topic. This thing, now, first of all, before we get into this, because the trailer's going to play, we're going to watch the trailer. This is a movie, and I think I saw the trailer a long time ago, and it kind of just whatever.
And it completely...
Yeah,
never even saw
I
it.
completely forgot about it.
No,
And I sent you the trailer just yesterday, and we both crammed a viewing in last night to watch it to make sure we could talk about it. And, we're big fans of Nicolas Cage here. We're all about that Cage rage. We're all about that gonzo Nick Cage. Whether it's a good movie or a bad movie, it's always going to have Nick Cage, and you always can expect the best effort
Right.
from Nicolas Cage. So the first movie we are going to talk about, the first thing we're going to talk about is a movie and a trailer. You guys can watch this trailer and prepare yourselves. This is Nick Cage at his finest.
Prepare.
This is really, really good. Really, really good. Hey, how about you move over so people can see the video behind you, dude? There you go. See, be a nice guy. This trailer is amazing. This trailer is accurate of what you're going
Can I go to a movie with Riley tonight?
Not that much.
Riley.
Your grandparents are coming for dinner tonight, remember?
Awesome. Grandpa telling his disgusting Vietnam stories.
Take my advice, don't ever have kids.
Everything just revolves around you, doesn't it?
Smalls.
Yeah, whatever.
Who's everybody? I love that tagline they brought in.
Today.
How they can take you
We're
out.
waiting for a buffet.
What's going on? Is that McKenna's mom? Multiple reports are now coming in of parents murdering their own children. Listen to me. We have to get out of the house before Mom and Dad come home. Dad?
I love that Home Alone bad songs.
Your right foot in, you take your right foot out, you do the hokey and you...
Yes, it's Mommy. Mommy's here. Are you two all right? We're not coming out, okay? You have to leave.
You're going to open this door! This is a really great idea, honey.
I forgot. Your parents.
That was tonight.
Whew. Man. All right. So, Mom and Dad, filmed in 2017 and released in 2018, stars Nicolas Cage and Selma Blair. And you guys, what you see is what you get. This is Nick Cage running at an 11. This is Gonzo Nick Cage. This is the Nick Cage you like to see. You want a director that looks at Nick Cage and says, dude, no limits. Do as you will. And this movie delivered in a lot of great ways. First of all, the main concept of it, the main point of it is really, really interesting. The fact that they go from the way they look at this from a different perspective is really, really cool. At how they kind of examine middle-age crisis, people who are having a midlife crisis, and it's a dark comedic view of it, and we'll get into it. But Tony, I want to get your initial impressions of Mom and Dad.
I'll be honest, it starts out kind of campy,
very campy,
and traditional, right? Campy.
Yep.
And it looks like, for all intents and purposes, a zombie movie, and that's part of the allure of it.
That's part of the camp.
Well. Yeah, that's part of the camp.
Yep.
But once you get about, I would say maybe a half hour in, and it starts kind of, because it starts setting up real fast. Once those phone calls start coming in at school, it starts, and it doesn't take long.
No,
actually, it's probably only like 20 or 15 minutes.
The movie is an hour and 26 minutes.
So yeah, I guess my time frame on that, but that's when all of a sudden just it hits the gas and the foot's on it, and you're just going, and it just goes.
Yeah.
And at first I'm like, how serious are you going to take it, or how what are we looking at? Because again, I missed this completely. You
Mhm.
sent me the trailer, and I'm like, okay, I'm very interested in this.
Mhm.
At the end of the day, after all is said is done, I really probably enjoyed this movie way more than I maybe should. But again, because we're fans of Cage, like it's trying to appease us. It's I
Mhm.
think it's more in some way, and it's definitely a niche group of us that this is going to
Yep.
appease to.
Yep.
This movie, by the time I was laughing throughout most of it. It's very entertaining.
Yeah.
It's enjoyable. It's entertaining. But what's crazy about it is that, like you said, it takes a very serious matter,
Yep.
like a lot of things,
Yep.
and gives it some dark satire, some dark comedy with
Yes.
it. And sometimes that's the best way to show expression for those things. And this works, and it works very well. And
Mhm.
and honestly, the couple of scenes when they get into some flashbacks or some moments
Yes.
of like clarity and
Yep.
some and that, then you really like, because even the scene like the main scene in the basement.
Yep. With Nick and
If
with
this
his-
was
yep.
if that scene was in another movie,
Mhm.
that would be like this crazy climatic point in a movie.
Right.
And it is in this movie. It just happens to be surrounded by crazy.
This is actually like the glue of the story. This is like the glue
Right.
of the thought process behind the movie.
Yeah, and when you see that, you're like, if the movie was just that scene,
Mhm.
it was a very raw scene. You're like, damn, like you
Right.
almost felt it. It takes you out of the movie for a minute.
That's excellent point.
Yeah.
Like it really, it's the big step back from like the overarching just insanity of the movie.
Right.
The way it steps out, and you get like a moment of, like you said, clarity, of realism,
Yeah.
of sympathy. Like you're actually like you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit, like I can see their angle, but it's surrounded by, like I said, it's just viewed from this different type of prism where it's just like so dark and out of
Wild.
control, but there is a underlining story that's really interesting.
Yeah, it's really fucking wild. And honestly, again, I can't praise this movie enough at this point.
Yeah.
I think there's a lot you could sit around when we were kind of dissecting it before the show, and there's a lot to dissect. So I'm gonna toss it back to you because, like I said, I enjoyed it. I had a great time.
Yeah, the way the point of it is like the way they look at things is that like how a lot of parents, a lot of people, when they're younger, they look at their future like, man, what can I accomplish? You know, I'm going to do so much with my
Right.
life. I'm going to make so many big changes, and I'm going to make a difference in everybody's life. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. High aspirations and all these goals. For a lot of people, once they have kids and they kind of get settled into their ways, some people have a hard time coming to terms that, you know what, maybe I didn't quite reach my potential. I didn't quite reach what I was kind of hoping to, and they go through like a midlife crisis. And the things that they explore here, like Nicolas Cage, you know, like that scene we were talking about in the basement with Selma Blair, his wife, you know, he kind of explains like, you know, I had all these goals, I had all these plans, and, you know, I have kids, and it's just that I don't want to say it's, you know, having children desensitizes you or anything like that, but it kind of, after a while, you're just like you're in a pattern. You're in the
Right.
same pattern. Your kids, you're raising your kids, you're doing all the things you're supposed to be doing, and a lot of the times, sometimes you don't feel like you're doing enough, or maybe you're not doing the right thing, or anything like that. And after a while, it can just become like a hammer over the head.
It's just like it's like cruise control. Like
Yes.
you're not like you're just going at this point, and like when things happen, and the cue for everything that happens to it, like we were talking about, when
Yep.
that happens, that's just kind of an analogy for the entire, like all that stuff. Like,
Mhm.
like when your kids are going, hey, look at this thing or whatever, and
Right,
you're just
right.
like, yeah, cool, and you're trying to burn some carrots on the stove.
Like
or
not
something.
only are as parents, not only have they not reached their goals in their professional careers or in their relationship, but now even their kids in this movie, there's like a detachment. Like they feel like they're even losing their kids. The kids are more consumed with social media,
Yeah.
video games, and their own friends. And the parents, you know, starting to feel like, man, what do I have left to look forward to in life? What I haven't done anything, you know, and that's how they kind of feel. It's like Groundhog's Day. It really is. Parenting is like Groundhog's Day. You wake up and it's the same routine over and over and over again. And if you're not doing the things that you were kind of hoping you'd be doing, or you saw yourself doing at some point, some people have a difficult time dealing with that and accepting that.
Right.
What this movie examines is the far like extreme side of things of like, look, my kids,
unrealistic, but yeah.
my kids are the reason
Yeah.
I was never able to achieve my goals. My kids are the reason I was never able to flourish at life. And these parents take it among themselves, and it's like a pandemic, so to speak, or like you said, it's kind of like a zombie movie. There's this trigger And it's pretty cool. We talked about the trigger, which is like this white noise on TV, but which is kind of like equates to like basically just the numbing effect of having kids and the blah 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 blah. And it's just a continuous white noise, and you
it
zone out.
Triggers them.
It triggers them, and these parents start killing their kids. Now, this movie is rated R, but a lot of the stuff, like you mentioned, a lot of the violence you see is off screen. It's subjective. Like you kind of get an idea.
It pulls punches a little bit. Like
it does. It pulls a lot of punches,
which is weird.
But it makes sense because you obviously, but the way they suggest the way they kill these kids, you can't really show that what's going on.
Right. So it's not as so like where you're watching like Becky or something,
or the house that Jack built, where they're
right, and it's just insanely like live, gratuitous. You're seeing everything. This like kind of pans away a little bit, but because it's so highly suggestive, and I think you're right because the kids are involved, there's a pretty big difference between PG-13 and R, and this definitely might not be as hard.
It's not a hard R, yeah. But towards the end, it earns it. There's a couple of scenes where you're just like, oh shit, okay, here's what I was waiting for.
Yeah.
Here's that gratuitous violence that I needed in this type of movie.
Yep.
But you guys, for an hour and 26 minutes, you get two actors who are both extremely talented, and they both do their own thing. Nicolas Cage is allowed to do whatever the fuck he wants for an hour and 26 minutes with no limit. The director, Brian Taylor, said, Nick, it's all you. So now that leaves the question, how does Selma Blair keep up with that? You know, because, I mean, Nick Cage is pretty explosive when he goes Gonzo Cage. He's pretty nuts. When Nick Cage is unleashed, it's really hard to keep up. Selma Blair is incredible in this movie.
Yes, she is.
She handles it perfectly where Nick Cage, even at his most just energetic and insanity, when it's hit the peak, she's right there with him.
Yeah.
In her own way. Like he is more of the explosive rage. She's more the diabolical.
Yeah, she's thought out.
She's the mastermind behind things.
Right.
And she's equally as creepy. Like there's a couple scenes where you're just like, man, she's fucking dark.
Yeah,
they
kind of have this yin and yang thing going on for sure.
Yeah, and they do so well together, feeding off one another when they do interact with one another as they're trying to get to their kids. The interactions are absolutely hilarious. Like there are some like great nuance like performances going on here, and it's really, really entertaining. And it's hilarious.
There's a few running bits too with one of the characters.
Blanco makes a really good point.
There's a lot going on in there as well.
Selma Blair is the OG Aubrey Plaza. I can see that's pretty accurate.
That's a pretty
pretty accurate.
Pretty interesting take. Zin had some good stuff in there as well too, talking about all her kids, and apparently she tied her tubes, and anything after is now Jared, aka Zadder's fault. So she called him right out tonight.
Oh wow, just right there live in the chat. I'm telling you, if you're not here live, you're missing this chat. These people are absolutely fucking nuts, and we love them. Lots of good stuff going on in the chat. But overall, dude, I mean, this is just an hour and 26 minutes of just pure insanity.
It was so fun.
It goes by fast, and we won't spoil it. But there is an amazing cameo in the last 20 minutes of this movie. That I had looked at this movie and I didn't look at the who was in it like deep down the list because sometimes they hide the like uncredited stuff at the bottom of the list. I didn't see this name pop up at all, and I'm not going to say who it is, but when they show up, you're just like, you did the same thing. Like I was watching, I was like, oh my god, yes!
I was like, whoa!
Yeah, dude. When they show up, you're just like, okay, this is fucking dope. This is really sweet because this actor is a character actor. He can be very intense. And in the scenes that he's required to, he's really good.
Yeah,
he's really good.
It's great.
We'll just say it's a he, but it's an amazing cameo, and you're just like, this is almost perfect. It's almost perfect.
Yes, it's not RoboCop 3.
It is not RoboCop 3. What was the guy's name in RoboCop 3? Who played RoboCop? It wasn't
Rip Torn was in it.
I don't know. The guy that played RoboCop.
I don't remember. People watch that?
It wasn't Peter Weller. I know that. Eugene
Levy. yeah.
No, not Eugene Levy.
That's funny,
which is hilarious because I love Eugene Levy. But no, this is a sweet cameo. And if you guys get a chance, I believe you can buy it on Amazon Prime for $14.99. You can rent it for
$3.99. Rent it for like $4.
And I think it might be available on Vudu.
I think it's available on Vudu as well too.
You might be able to watch. Anyone check out Monopoly Plus on PlayStation? No. What a random question.
Yeah, well,
is this a bit?
Yeah, he's always sinking turds.
No, he's man. I tell you what, man. At least he sticks with it. You know, he's consistently shitty with his bits.
Yes, it's true.
Can't believe Daniel Day-Lewis is. Man, can you imagine if Daniel Day-Lewis was that cameo?
Yeah,
Maybe out there.
I probably
But
freak
no,
out,
seriously,
though.
if you guys and girls get a chance, check it out.
Yeah.
It's worth a watch. It's an hour and 26 minutes, and it's interesting because I was doing some research on this. This is Nicolas Cage's favorite movie in the last 10 years.
When did he say that?
I mean, obviously in the last 2 years. The movie came out
So
in
before
2018.
Color Out of Space.
Before Color Out of Space, and right around the time of Mandy.
It's a pretty big
So
deal.
this is
wild.
really good.
That's wild.
It's really good. So make sure you check it out. Definitely worth a look. If there's one scene that we thought we were a little worried about, but they cut
there
back
was one scene I'm glad that kind of pulled punches
when you
on.
get to it, you'll be
You'll
like,
know.
no, don't do this, but they don't. And
They were this close to going like.
you could tell he was teasing it. He wanted to. I want to see a director's cut.
Yep,
It's probably pretty horrific.
I agree.
Robert John Clark. Thank you, Zen. That's Robert John Clark was your Peter Weller replacement.
Appreciate
Not
it.
even on the same level as Peter Weller.
No.
All right, moving on from Mom and Dad, we had an epic battle Saturday night, Impact Wrestling. First of all, we've had one of these gentlemen on the show, and we've also hung out with the other gentleman, the man that he battled in the ring
That's right.
multiple times for movie night.
That's right.
Let's talk a little bit about Rohit Raju versus Cousin Jake.
Cousin Jake Diener.
Of the Diener boy. This was an amazing battle. It was an amazing fight. You can check it out on YouTube right now if you go to Impact Wrestling Turning Point 2020, and it's about midway through. Rohit Raju versus Cousin Jake, and it was fucking awesome.
Can defeat Rohit.
The answer right now is currently nobody. But if there was anybody that could, it was going to be Cousin Jake.
Holy shit, yes, because the man's a beast.
He is such a truck. But this was a great fight. I mean, it was a great fight. And you and I have had the privilege of seeing these guys do battle in the ring when we went to Bay City just before COVID really took off. We got to go there and watch these guys fight, and it was by far, I mean, it wasn't even close. It was the best match of the entire show.
Yes. Absolutely. Well, yeah, and it wasn't even close. And honestly, these guys have been battling each other for, over a decade now, so they know each other really well, so it makes for crazy dynamic and synergy when they're in a ring. And you see here, I mean, it already got just everything.
Yeah.
I mean, it's really David and Goliath in a way, Rohit's small, versatile, explosive, and Cousin Jake, aka Jake something, is a fucking animal and a beast and just a complete fucking powerhouse. I mean, I'm not surprised I've never seen him grab the ring and just flip it over on somebody, truth be told.
He's so huge, dude.
He is.
Every time I see him battle like Rohit, I'm just like, how is he gonna lose? How's he gonna lose? But Rohit, as he's been doing the entire time as the X Division champ,
Always finds a way
to just any kind of opening that he can take.
This is the move.
Oh, this move. That was gross.
Dude.
That was absolutely filthy.
Stomped his fucking head right on the fucking ring.
But Jake's like, nuh-uh. He's still going.
Tricky says TJP's still being a bitch. Yeah, he is.
What's TJP doing now?
He probably just crying because he lost to the man, the myth, the legend.
Yeah. No, he can't fight him again right now. He said he's done. He's on
right. He's done. He can't technically at all.
Watch this move right here. Watch this move.
Yeah.
This is just a filthy. I mean, just straight power, man. Look at Jake.
I'm not very versed in all the move names, so I'm more of just the enthusiast.
Oh yeah. I mean, I couldn't tell you half of these moves, but man, just the energy they bring. They're all. I mean, it's a battle every time. It's a battle, and it's always entertaining as fuck. They lock horns. And like you said, man, they've been doing this for a long time. They've met up multiple times for matches, and they're just it's always a battle to the end. It's always a battle to the end. And always some big moves. Like you said, always big moves.
Yeah. And honestly, like, and this is a shame of it too. And I,
right
the fucking clothesline, bro.
How does he even get
where's Rohit's head? I yelled at Impact earlier this spring about their lack of what they were doing with Rohit, and I clearly they weren't listening to me, but clearly things did change. Look at this. Oh my god.
Oh, is this? Yeah.
Yep.
And boom.
And now he's making big moves, and I want to say one more time, and maybe they're never gonna hear me, but I just want to at least say it. Impact, if you're out there listening, which you're probably not, but you should be.
Should be.
Cousin Jake, a.k.a. Jake something, needs more because he can give you so much more.
Again,
He's super talented. The man can use a mic as well. Nobody knows that. This dude should be at the top of the card, eating people.
Yep.
Because that's what he can do. He works so hard. He is such a talented wrestler. This guy should literally be fighting for that championship belt. There's no joke about it.
No.
Seriously. It's amazing. Oh my God.
But
awesome.
his promos are amazing.
Some
of his something promos are absolutely
some
just
of Jake's
fire.
Yeah, and they're better than some of the people that are like in top promotions. Like these two guys that we're seeing here, and yes, clearly we're a little bit biased. Don't get me wrong, but when you've known these folks for a long time and you've seen how much they put into it, and how much blood, sweat, and tears, and how talented they are, you know that they've got so much more to give, but they need the right people to let them just do it. And that's the problem.
You got to find a way, because like I said, I've seen a lot of Jake's promos before, and I'm just like, this guy, he's so intense. And they're fire, man. You get jacked. I get fired every time he has one of his What's My Name trailers.
Yes.
And it's just like the everything, the production, everything is fire, and he's just intense. He's captivating. And like you said, he's a monster in the fucking ring, dude.
Yeah.
He's a monster in the ring.
Dude. Yeah.
And so it was really cool to see him get a chance at the X Division title, but at the end of the day, and still, Rohit Raju is your X Division champion.
Flex Division champion.
But he had his hands full with Jake something this weekend, man.
That's true.
Jake put up a hell of a fight and did really good.
Absolutely. And this match, I want to see more of them. For one.
Yes.
I just want to see more of these. Come on, Impact. Do the right thing. Let's let Cousin Jake get out of this stupid gimmick. Let's get him out there. Let's do something bigger with him. He can produce more for you. And if you guys want to follow these guys on social media like Twitter, Instagram, Jake something, at Jake something, I believe it is.
Yeah, it's at Jake something _
and at Hakeem Zane.
Yep.
Follow them. They're always posting. They're always active. It's fun, great stuff, great promos. Catch up with this, and then go to ProWrestlingTees.com. Jake something, Rohit Raju as well too. As you see there, we've got a Rohit shirt on there too. These guys sell awesome tees, and that's a big part of it for these guys is how they fit some clamshells in their pockets is from selling tees. So you get a chance, you want to support. You've been watching these guys, go check them out. ProWrestlingTees.com and scoop up on some tees.
Yeah, and make sure, again, follow them on social media. They're always posting awesome promos. They're fucking sweet.
Thanks,
they're good dudes. And Cuddles, appreciate that. And then it's Jake something _ That's Jake something. Make sure you check those guys out on Twitter. They're awesome, and they put on a hell of a show. They're always battling, and they have seriously some of the best fights we've seen.
Absolutely.
Since we started following all this stuff. So it's pretty wild.
Yep, it's exciting to see these guys, what they're doing. It was exciting to get to Rohit to this place, and it's exciting to see this happen on national TV. I mean, they've done some tag team battles back and forth when the Desi group was around and the Deaners, but this is the kind of shit we want to see is these two going at
the 1v1s, dude.
Yep, absolutely.
I definitely dig it. Jay Hill says Banter and Babble merch.
We're talking about it.
Interesting that he should mention
we are definitely talking about
We've got some plans.
Yes, sir.
2021 is going to be pretty lit.
I think so, too.
Cuddles knows what I'm talking about.
Yep.
Wink,
oh,
wink,
Jesus.
wink.
Fuck.
Dude, Cuddles
Ninja.
2021.
Anyhow.
Moving on to what should be a pretty interesting discussion. As you know, last week, we entered the next generation of gaming.
Ba-ba-ba-bum.
We have now both the Xbox Series X, PlayStation 5, and obviously the Xbox Series S, but we're going to be talking about just the Xbox Series X. Don't go fuck yourself. Cuddles is spot on with that hashtag. We should get like a little emote like they do on Twitter. They make special ones. Like have like a little picture of you and then the middle finger next to it when you put "Tone go fuck yourself." I think that'd be pretty sweet.
Yeah, that'd be more like me being like Stone Cold, being like "fuck you, dude."
Nah, nobody's gonna think you're like that. They're just gonna think you're a loser.
Fuck you, dude.
Oh, so what a clever retort. All right, so yeah, let's jump into these next gen consoles. I've played games on both of them. I took 4 days off for gaming this past weekend. Yeah, big time loser. And I spent a considerable amount of time with both systems. You do not have an Xbox Series X yet.
Not yet.
At some point you'll have it.
I'm waiting.
You're waiting, but you do have a PlayStation 5, and you've spent a little bit of time with it. I want to get some of your initial impressions, stuff that stood out to you in your time that you have been able to play.
Yeah. It's a new console. At the end. No. Honestly, the big piece of this for me, everybody wants to talk software with these, right? Everybody's always talking about, how's this look? How's this game look? How's this game look? That's always going to be the big piece for everybody. And unfortunately, like and for the record, they look great. Like Miles Morales, like for a PS5 game, in performance mode on a big, nice 4K TV with HDR, and holy shit,
right?
It looks amazing. Like everything you saw in those videos that are picking it apart and stuff. Yeah, it looks that great. It's fucking live and in living color in your face. However, besides some UI things that I'm a little surprised they went with, Zin's got it right. The big piece of this is the DualSense controller.
Oh, absolutely.
Now, again, and when we talk about next gen, it's always going to come back to the hardware and what the software looks like on it. Okay, strictly there. The controller, the DualSense controller, is a true piece of next gen hardware and an evolution in controller. Now, there's been some big moves in other controllers in the last couple of gens. The touchpad on the DualShock 4, the vibration of the triggers on the Xbox One controller, the Elite Series, controllers and whatnot as well too. There's been some great moves. The haptic feedback and what this DualSense does, just the haptic feedback alone is pretty mind-blowing. It's when you play, you do get a free game actually on the PS5 when you
which is nuts, by the way.
Which nobody talks about.
Free. The fact that this game is free is ridiculous.
Yeah. So along with like there's certain features in the PS5 I feel like don't get enough talk about as well too. When it comes to accessibility controls.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And settings for games, like you can set your games to say, hey, I want every game I play to be on normal and have subtitles. And I use subtitles for everything, so like that's a pretty intuitive thing to have.
That's
now,
really
I was
nice.
told that I didn't realize this. The 360 had that, but when I was told that, they also said it doesn't work. So it didn't work great. So I don't know if it works well on the PS5. I'm going to assume it 10 years later more.
It's worked so far.
Right. So some of the accessibility options are pretty nice with the system as well too. Like you turn it on and it's talking to you. I thought that was kind of unique. Like if you need some accessibility with that sort of stuff, that's great. That's what console has ever turned on and goes, hey, you got this on, I'm going to read this to you.
Sure.
But again, the controller is the main piece of this. You've got, and maybe I didn't understand the haptic. I guess I thought it was more of a trigger based thing and maybe the bottom part of the controllers, but it's not. Like think of if you've ever held like a bowl of gumballs or something. Right? That's a good analogy for it. Would you agree?
I know you're getting it. Yep.
Yeah, and like you can feel that in the controller. Like they drop little like astrobots into your controller, and you shake it around. And you feel them. Like that's fucking wild. Like ping, ping, ping. Like little. It's like a controller that's got nerve endings all over.
It's
that's
insane.
fucking wild, right? And so that alone. So when you play like Miles Morales and you pick up even just a, hey, look, I'm picking up a trash can in a cutscene. You feel yourself pick up a trash can, and I'm dumping it. Oh, wow, I can feel all that. Or you're swinging, or something crazy. The beginning of Miles Morales, by the way, if you've played Spider-Man and started in Miles Morales, if more games started out like Avengers and Miles Morales, that alone is worth the price of admission.
Beginning.
Oh, it's amazing beginning. And the controller, though, like outside, like, so we're talking about an intuitiveness and like, evolution in next gen and hardware. Such a little thing, very little thing, and I know they talked about it, but when I actually did it that night, me and Cap were in a party, and I was like, oh, my headset, I don't need a headset. And I'm sitting there on my controller, and we're in a party chat, and I'm talking to my controller and can hear you guys fine without a headset.
Yep.
And of course, they've had the speaker on the PlayStation controller since the DualShock 4,
right?
Which, I mean, it's cool.
It's cool to hear like in-game stuff.
Yeah, like in Tomb Raider, you hear the ching, or like in Uncharted, you
open up a chest, you hear like
certain things like that. Well, it's evolved a little bit more now. Clearly, the games still do that, which is dope. Even in Batman Arkham, which is last gen game, like you're talking certain mission things comes through that too as well too. Like when the people are talking around you,
right?
But being able to sit in a party chat without a headset, it doesn't seem like a big deal. It's not, but when you have to pay anywhere from $20 to $100 for a headset. That's an option you don't need to worry about.
Jay McKenzie just made a joke. I like it when it makes you blow the controller, which is, he says it's hot. But the fact is that is just one of the many features that shows just how versatile this controller is. And Astrobot, by all accounts, is an incredible platformer. It's a fucking awesome game. You couldn't really tell you were using a controller. Yeah, it works really good. No, Astrobot is it's a crime that this game is free. It's an incredible game, you guys. It's a platformer, and the way that it uses the DualSense and showcases every feature. Yep. Tone's talking about when the bots are jumping in there and you can feel them bounce around. But I mean, when you first find the bow, that was my first holy shit moment. Like the little Astrobot guy, he picks up a bow, and when you aim the bow with the trigger, it actually, as he's pulling it back, the trigger is fighting a little bit. Not fighting in a bad way, but you feel the tension.
Tension, that's the word.
Of the bot pulling the bow. It doesn't break. It doesn't make it fire any slower. It doesn't take you out of it. You're just like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
That's wild. And then Jay McKenzie mentions, when you're playing the game and you open up a blimp type device and there's a fan on it, you blow into the controller and the fan will start going, and the device and the blimp will start going. It's incredible how intuitive this controller is. I mean, everything, when you jump into the robot, when the little Astrobot jumps into his little mech suit and you zip it up with the touchpad, you feel each zip like hitting as it's going. I mean, you're just like, this is nuts. This is nuts. The DualSense is absolutely fucking incredible. And we can sit here and talk about it. It doesn't matter at all. It's like VR. It's like trying to explain VR to somebody. You're in this space and like you're actually there, and everyone's like, well, I don't fucking know what you're talking about. It doesn't sound cool.
Until you've actually experienced it.
Until you actually experience it, you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about. It's simple as that. It's an incredibly immersive experience. And when you take that and you look at the Xbox Series X, I played a lot of the games there. I played Sea of Thieves. I played Gears of War. I played Valhalla. I played Bright Memory, which was just a complete waste of time. I played a lot of these games, and yes, the higher frame rate on both systems. I love the higher frame rate. But you guys, I kind of expected that coming into this gen. These are next-gen systems. They're stronger than last gen. Right. They should be able to get 60 frames. They should get close to 4K. It's almost like that's just kind of the expectation. You get better performance, you get better visuals. Cool. But at some point, it's going to be more and more difficult to make these visuals any more realistic. You're always going to have a video game look and feel to a game. So what do you have to do to make it more immersive, to make it more holy shit? And I feel like that's where the PlayStation 5 has the advantage with the DualSense and just the general feel of the system. The Xbox Series X, in my opinion, just feels like a souped-up Xbox One X. It's all it is. It's a souped-up Xbox One X. The UI looks basically the same. Yes, quick resume is an awesome feature. I like that a lot. You can just hop in and play, and you're immediately back into the game, like immediately. That's cool, and that's next-gen-ish. I dig that. But at the end of the day, these are visuals. This is performance stuff we've already seen on PC. 60 frames for a lot of these games. Right. Cool. It's on console. Great. That's awesome. That's what I want to see from next-gen stuff. I want better visuals and whatnot. But the PlayStation 5 with the DualSense takes it to a whole new level, man. I'm playing Call of Duty, and every time I'm using, I go to aim down the sights, and I use the left trigger. Depending on the size of the gun, it takes longer to pull it back. Not longer, but it's just you feel the tension of aiming the gun. And when you're shooting, you actually feel the kick in. I mean, it's and all these guns are different. All these guns are different. The way they handle with the DualSense, you're just like, man, this is fucking nuts.
I didn't realize that was in Call of Duty with the guns.
Yes, and here's the thing: make sure when you download games on the PS5, you're downloading the PS5 version. For whatever reason, Sony still has to fix it to where the system will download the PS4 version. And I did that on the first night, and when I did it, I was like, man, these haptics don't feel all that different. Because I was playing the PS4 version. Then when I downloaded the PS5 version the next day and I was like, oh. Every gun is specifically designed to match how it works in real life. So, I mean, not every gun even feels the same when you're using the haptic feedback. It's really incredible. It's really incredible. So far, the best PS5 feature is Fortnite loads in like 1 second. My PS4 Pro took a solid 4 minutes. I mean, the load times are incredible. Times are incredible. Yeah. And that's awesome too. But here's one other thing that I liked about the PlayStation 5. Last night, I was playing Spider-Man Remastered. Playing through it, and all of a sudden, I got a notification on the top of my screen that says, Piccolo 930 has just beaten your score in Astrobot on one of the speed challenges. I was like, what the fuck?
Oh,
No
you
way.
can't handle that Piccolo
I
beating
can't. No,
something.
no, no. I
Oh,
was
shit.
pissed. I was like, get the fuck out
It's
of
like,
here. No way.
Yeah.
So I hit the PlayStation button because it says on the screen, hit this, and it drops down and says, do you want to try to do this right now? I said, yes. I click it, takes me right to it. Like, seriously, it closes down Spider-Man behind the scenes, and boom, right
That's
into Astro.
fucking cool.
Dude, no menu, no nothing, just boom, you're in that level. Go. Quick beat his score, boom, bounce back out, go back to Spider-Man. That's the kind of shit I want in my next-gen console. The Xbox Series X is a souped-up Xbox One X, and I dig it. That's awesome. That's what they're going for. More power, this and that, yada, yada, yada. The PlayStation 5 feels like a next-gen console, a next-gen PlayStation console. That's where the difference is between these two systems. Yes, seeing games like Sea of Thieves at 60 frames, beautiful.
Yeah, it looks gorgeous.
But
Beautiful.
I've seen it before on PC. I've seen it before.
Sure.
So it's not like a holy shit
Point
moment,
taken,
but it's
point
cool
taken.
to see it that, yes, I get
The
it.
console has it. Right.
That's
Mhm.
awesome.
Mhm.
A game like Gears and multiplayer, 120 frames. That's awesome. Great, cool. But at the same time, these are things I would kind of expect with next-gen systems. In terms of immersion, the PlayStation 5 is just on a different level right now. Now, that's not to say, once these first-party titles come out for Xbox Series X, then we're going to see the true potential of this system, and I can't wait to see it. The quick resume is nice, but in terms of immersion and just a next-gen feel, like PlayStation 5 has just a bigger advantage at this time.
Fair enough. And like for me, like I just decided not to. I'm a Halo guy, so like if Halo's not out when an Xbox drops, I'm an exclusives kind of guy. So you know the PlayStation had a few new IPs or a few exclusives and some little things that I was more concerned about right now. I will have a Series X by the end of next year at some point, whenever Halo gets, or maybe throughout the mid part of the year. But I decided to buy another arcade unit for my basement. So
God, you're such a degenerate.
I can't help it.
Such a fucking loser, man.
I can't help it. But listen, the point of it is that now that we're in a new gen, it's another arms race, right? Like both teams. I mean, Microsoft's been eating up studios. We got another announcement coming on tomorrow.
IO Interactive. Wait, what's going on?
Doesn't something happen with Microsoft? They made an announcement. They've got some announcement on the 19th. Tomorrow 19th, right?
I thought it was IO Interactive that you sent.
I don't know.
19th.
No, I don't.
You know,
scaring me.
why don't you just stop
Microsoft has an announcement.
I'm gonna go look it up because I think you're just
Go ahead.
making shit up.
Hey, I just want to point out real quick. Hello, Mudini, and thank you. Yes, we actually like to call that a juicy beard, though.
Yeah, dude, I haven't. This is the most beard I've had in my entire life, and I'm a furry guy. I let it grow, but this is the most like full my beard's ever been. I'm really proud.
Like his taint looks like a dwarf.
Jesus,
like a yard
it's not
gnome.
quite Tricky Regent like beard. Tricky Regent has.
He's got a juicy beard.
He's got a juicy
it's
beard.
Juicy. You want some OJ in the morning? You squeeze that fucking beard, and there's a little in there.
Mudini says, "Is an Xbox Series S good? Had one in the car today. It's a good system, but I mean, if you're gonna be playing a lot of games, I don't know, man. Like we've been saying from the beginning, when you buy cheap,
save your fucking money for the X.
When you buy cheap, you buy twice.
Don't buy the.
There's not a whole lot of room in
Right.
it. It's not like you might be able to fit like 5 games on it. There's minimal space, and the specs just don't. I think it's 8 teraflops short of the Xbox Series X. It'll be cool for games like Fortnite. If you just play
Sure.
Fortnite or if you just play Madden or anything like that. So what does Mrs. Dude think? She loves it, Mood. She likes that it tickles.
She actually does not at all. She told him tonight to get rid of that.
And I said, no, I put my foot down. You want to know why? Because I run this fucking house.
Not even true.
She didn't hear me, did she?
Just slam the door.
Jeez. Oh, boy. Anywho. But no, I mean, but the games that, and the other advantage the PlayStation 5 has right now is just launch titles. I mean, outside of on Xbox, you have the Falconeer, which is something I wasn't even really all that interested in. And they're pushing AC Valhalla. That's great, but that's on both
Third-party
platforms.
title.
But if you look at Stream shuts down in 3, 2,
Right. Clink.
But when you look at the PlayStation 5, Demon's Souls, oh my God, that game looks fucking incredible. Astrobot, a game that showcases what the PlayStation 5 DualSense can do. I haven't played Bugsnax, but you look at Spider-Man, I'm playing Remastered. 60 frames, looks fucking brilliant. I mean, it looks really good. A lot of these games, I mean, they've got a lot of good first-party stuff, or at least, I played Godfall. Verdict's not out. I know it hasn't scored terribly well, but from what little I played so far, there is some actual depth to the
It
combat.
looks good. Like
it's a beautiful
pretty
looking game.
Yeah, sure.
It's a beautiful looking game.
Yeah,
I just don't
Demon's
know what
Souls,
kind of
yep.
legs it has. Because I heard there's not too many places to explore. Reminds me of the Key and Peele sketch. I say a bitch. Yeah. Not in this house.
Is that a good spot for me to go take a piss?
Are you fucking kidding me, bro?
No.
Well, hurry up because we're gonna be doing your thing next, and you're gonna be talking for an hour. Go pee. We'll talk. We'll talk some
to
games.
Trick for a minute. Look,
I'm going to.
El Blanco was talking about his little vibrating egg that he gave.
Dude, will you
King.
go before you piss all over the place?
I think I'm going a little bit right now.
Oh my god, what
Correct.
a sicko! That tiny bladder, there it is. Please don't trip over that. Okay, can't bring this dude anywhere. He's had 2 White Claws, and then he had a Yingling. And he's pissing himself already. It's unbelievable. Now we're actually gonna have like put a diaper on, right? We're gonna have a hold screen from when he goes, and he doesn't know what it is gonna be yet. I have something pretty cool planned. It's gonna be kind of fun. He's gonna be embarrassed because he's not gonna see it until he watches the VOD. So you guys will see it before he does. I got a little something planned for him. Probably for the next episode. Every time he goes tinkle, we're going to have something play on the screen. So it's going to be really... He's not going to be around much longer anyways. Cuddles, you're taking over. I know it's the favorite part of the show because now you just have my sexy ass to look at. But Brian Max, Tone, go piss in a random corner. Brian, you fucking watch your mouth, sir. Okay? You watch your mouth. Speaking of pissing in the corner, I got a quick story I'll tell you guys. It's not related to anything. Back in the day, we went up to Alpena. This was like in high school. We went up to Alpena to our friend's cabin, and we were drinking all day long. Everyone got shit-faced. And as I'm laying upstairs in the bed, passed out, I hear this sound like it's raining. I'm like, man, is it fucking raining out right now? And I look out the window, and it's sunny. And all of a sudden, I hear a girl downstairs go, Tom, you're pissing in the corner! And I look over in the corner, and there is my good friend Tom just pissing in the corner of this cabin. It was amazing. He had no idea what he was doing, because as soon as he got done pissing, he literally just climbed back onto the couch and went back to sleep. He had no idea where he was at. So, naturally, we weren't invited back up there ever again. But it was a lot of fun. It was a good time. We got really, really drunk. It was a lot of fun. So... but if you are playing PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X, Moody, you know the story. You've heard it. You've heard the story. You know all about those shenanigans. You know you can't take Tom fucking anywhere. Can't take Tom anywhere. But what's everyone playing? I mean, if you got one of the next-gen systems, or if you're entered to win one of these next-gen systems, what are you playing? What have you enjoyed so far? What stood out to you? I have not played Bug Snacks yet, but I've heard it's actually pretty fun. I haven't checked it out. Right now, I'm just doing a Spider-Man playthrough. Valhalla, I know, Cap, you're deep on... It's interesting. Microsoft obviously has a third-party marketing with Valhalla, but Digital Foundry put out a video today that shows that it actually runs better on the PlayStation 5. Now, whether or not this is something they'll fix, I'm sure it will be, but by all accounts, it's running better on the PlayStation 5, which is really interesting. Are you all done, little man?
Yeah.
You okay? You good to go? Because
someone's using the toilet, so I use the sink in the kitchen.
Wow. Oh my god, that's so fucked up and hilarious. Oh, jeez. Okay, we're moving on to the next topic, and this is a big one.
You want to talk about my pee?
We don't want to talk about your pee.
It went well.
I'm glad it did.
Thank
you.
You
Can see it dripping down from the floor. I see you missed.
Can we somehow get like a window, or maybe I can call you next time?
Dude, my biggest fear right now is because that's where that toilet is. I'm my kid plugging the toilet and then not telling me, and the water just comes down as I'm streaming. Just shit water everywhere. I'd be like, oh, okay. Well, the stream's over and all this equipment is dead. That would just be big topic. Here we go. You ready?
Am I?
It's gonna be your turn, man.
We
got a lot to talk about. I know Moody's got some comments on this, and I'm gonna counter him on this. We are going to talk Mandalorian. Easy. Okay.
I did.
I see your pants are coming off. You're doing the little
They
shimmy.
were
We are going to talk about Mandalorian chapters 10 and 11. And now the only thing I'm going to point out to you, Tone, is we talked about the first chapter, and we were like, man, this was 55 minutes. Sweet. We're trending down. We're trending down. That's the only thing I noticed. I'm kind of like, I don't like how this is working. I don't like how this is the trajectory of this. We're trending down, but that does not mean the substance isn't there.
Lots of substance. And if you have not seen this episode, it has been almost a week. So King Cuddles, mute your shit or whatever you got to do. Or anybody hasn't, just forewarning. I'm not gonna go
Super
super
spoiler,
spoilers,
but,
but
yeah.
we're gonna definitely get into a little bit of that territory. There you go. Jay McKenzie knows.
Oh, God.
Yep, blowing loads.
Let's go. Chapter 10.
Okay, so chapter 10, a very controversial episode, may it be.
Damn.
You know, with the frog lady, a new species was introduced into Star Wars. I don't know if it's anything better than just frog people.
Yep.
But the child was caught as she's trying to reach her mate and procreate and keep their race going. He was caught eating her eggs.
Yep.
And that really upset a lot of people, which is funny because it's a fictional sci-fi fantasy story
People are
with
running.
lightsabers and the Force.
It's about a frog lady who can talk in a different language.
Right, and a frog-looking little dude was eating her eggs. Well, guess what? When deviled eggs are in the fridge, well, I don't know, somebody else. Like, you know, big whoop, right?
This is part of the reason why I understand that there's a thin line. There's a gray line between being sensitive and being insensitive. Right. But if you're going to be a baby back bitch about everything, stop watching.
Yeah. Yeah, King
Stop
Cuddles.
watching. Stop watching and move on and do something else. This is entertainment value. No lives were lost. This isn't real. It's Baby Yoda eating a fucking egg. I crack eggs every fucking morning.
Yeah, some of these people probably have scrambled eggs, and it's like, you crying about that? Like, come on.
This is my issue, man. There's just I understand. I want to be sensitive. I want to be understanding of certain folks in certain situations. I get that, but this is not one of them.
Fried or fertilized, Bronzy.
This is not how I want people to approach stuff. Knock it off, okay? Seriously, it's stupid. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's just ridiculous. There was an internet blowback of it, and it's just like, yo, it's basically a cartoon, live action cartoon. But set aside from that, it's kind of like this. Just like a filler episode. I mean, there's a big arc going on. There's a lot of stuff going on, and we'll get into that deeper in a moment. But for all intents and purposes, it was still a great episode. We got more New Republic. Dave Filoni, one of the guys that creates the cartoons and all this as well too. He's in it next week again. He's playing the same character he did in the first season that blew up. That one, I can't think of that contact guy's name, that little space station when they were doing that heist or whatever. He reprises that role. And really outside of that, besides a little adventure, there is a creature that is introduced into live action in this episode that was secondly originated in the cartoons, in the Rebels cartoon, that came from a concept art photo.
This is dope.
From Ralph McQuarrie for the original ESB Empire Strikes Back with Luke Skywalker and Dagobah. That creature they brought into Rebels as a cartoon and brought to live action in this episode. That is fucking neat because, again, you know, we'll get more to this. They're bringing, instead of turning, you know, back in the day, it was like, oh, we got these great live action characters. Let's make a cartoon of them. Now they're taking cartoons and turning them into live action. It's fucking wild that we're there at this point in our medium. So that was pretty dope. For the most part, it was a pretty straightforward episode.
Yep.
You know, I mean, definitely like there's a running bit clearly with the Razor Crest being a sweet, cool, awesome shit, but also being trash like half the time. So that bit continued as well too. So that episode was pretty straightforward. Moving on to the next episode, chapter 11, right?
Yep.
That's a whole other meaty episode. Yeah, the
shortest episode is arguably the best episode of the season.
Right. Well, how was it? 38 minutes.
39 minutes or something.
39 minutes. Unfortunate that it was so short because yes, it was very, very awesome. This was one of those ones that it had a lot to unpack because it definitely dug with some characters. More importantly, with some of the lore. If you hadn't seen it yet, again, yes, exactly. There you go, Jay McKenzie. Katie Sackhoff actually voices this character and had voiced in Clone Wars cartoon and in Rebels when she reprised herself in that as well too, and got to play her live action.
That's dope.
In this show, and that was very dope. She's Longmire. She's big in Longmire. Yup, Starbuck from, if you've never seen Battlestar Galactica from the mid-2000s, highly recommend. It's amazing sci-fi. But she played one of the main characters in that as well too. She's a fantastic actress, huge into sci-fi. This is where she belongs in her space. And she's had a lot of commentary after it, how excited she was and how they pretty much said, hey, you want to do this live action, and Like, there was a tweet that came out last week, midweek, that is it Friday yet? And everybody freaked their shit out. They were just overanalyzing and like, oh my God, is her episode, is she really going to be playing Bo-Katan and blah, blah, blah. Sure enough, she reprises herself in live action as Bo-Katan.
That's awesome.
The sister to Satine Katan, the true heir to Mandalore itself, Mandalorians. And the dark saber, which Moff Gideon has,
yep.
In the cartoons, the last person to have that, and I think you look back a year ago when we were talking about this, the dark saber was last in the hands of Bo-Katan, in the cartoons, and now we're gonna find out why she doesn't have it. She's trying to get it again, of course, because that's part of her heir to the throne, or what do you want to say, of Mandalore, as the ruler of Mandalore. So it's a really neat thing how it happens. Matter of fact, the creature that Mando is saved from in this episode is actually a water variant version of the Sarlacc from the Sarlacc pit and everything. That's a water version of that. It's they're like cousins or whatever you want to say. So there was that. There we got to see Quarn and Mon Cals, which are typically on Mon Cal, Mon Calamari, and they're, of course, an aquatic planet, so you could see these aquatic style aliens doing their things, which it's not something you see and explore a whole lot outside of some of the cartoons and stuff as well too. And a cool little Easter egg is that the Razor Crest at the beginning, when it's trying to land, there is a big crane thing. It is actually that big crane thing is a repurposed AT-AT, or some people like to call them AT-ATs, all-terrain transport, etc. In the water. So you actually hear the same sound like in Empire Strikes Back, the grinding. It's the same thing because it's a repurposed machine. So what's also cool about the episode, another Easter egg, is that the ship that they are dealing with the Imperials, talking to Moff Gideon, that ship was actually originated as well in the Rebels cartoon, and that's the first time you see live action of one of those as well too, which is fucking cool. And Sasha Banks, who is a WWE wrestler, she plays a character along Bo-Katan as well too, as the Mandalorians. And it gets a little heavy because the big piece of this, besides Bo-Katan being in there, is the fact that she recognizes who Mando aligns with, which is Death Watch, who saved him during the Purge. You see them in the first season, and it really wasn't talked about and revealed, but that sect of Death Watch or whatever that continues, they are a religious zealot that want to take over Mandalore. A lot of crazy lore there. Why Bo-Katan is such an important integral character that threads a lot of stuff in. So when she does that, it's almost like a step back. You're like, oh, you're clutching your pearls, because you think for the most part, Mando's like with a bunch of Mandalorians are trying to save themselves, and they're the last ones. No one knew why they kept the helmets on.
Right.
No one knew why they were on the outer fringes of the galaxy. Now you know, because they're the remnant of this crazy cultist group, Death Watch, and we knew Death Watch had saved him, but never connected the two together. So, and then she says a name at the end of the episode that he can go take the child to, and all fanboys like myself proverbially lost their shit of excitement.
It's, that's one thing I want to talk about. Moody actually made a point that I was going to talk about because I've seen him make it before. As he says, I feel like we are getting too many side quests. And I'll be honest with you, man, the first season, and even more so this season, I felt like I was watching kind of like an A-Team. Like they just take on random missions and they knock stuff out. But I feel like there is the overarching story. Mando has to deliver the child to whoever is going to get the child.
Foundling, that's the whole.
But the plus side of it, Mood, in my opinion, the reason I like these side quests, because they're not empty side quests. I mean, look, I'll be the first to admit, outside, when it comes to Star Wars, the main movies are basically what I know about Star Wars. I didn't watch Rebels, I didn't watch the cartoons, but there's a lot of people that watch it, and they do a great job of tying that lore together. But the thing that I appreciate about these side quests, so to speak, is the fact that this is giving Disney and Filoni and Favreau an opportunity to bring some of these characters who have been, I don't want to say stuck in the animated versions, in things like Rebels and Clone Wars, and you're allowing them they're using these episodes to introduce these characters to the mainstream audience.
Right, yeah.
And now, granted, when I first saw Bo-Katan, I was like, it sounds familiar, but I don't know who that is. Right. So once I talked to you and you told me, I was like, oh, shit. That's pretty deep.
Mhm.
And that's why I appreciate the fact that they have these side quests, because they're not just like, hey, I'm going to help a random person. A lot of the time you're meeting characters who are in the lore, who are established characters in the lore. And that's the strength. That's one of the plus sides of this medium of streaming is when you have movies, you have 2.5 hours, 3 hours to cram as much shit as you can. And while you could have taken Bo-Katan and threw her in The Last Jedi and had her be like a little cameo, like, hi, I'm Bo-Katan, and then she walks off. Cool, you got the live-action version. Yes, you see her in a movie. But when you look at these shows, when you come at it from the way of the Mandalorian, multiple episodes, and now you can take these characters and really flesh them out and give them some time on the big screen to see these characters who are typically lost. I don't want to say lost in the cartoon, because a lot of the fans dig the cartoons, and I wish I had time to catch up on it. But I don't want them to rush this story. That's why honestly, man, that's why some of these last 3 movies didn't feel right, because they were rushed. They were trying to cram so much shit,
especially the last one,
into these movies where it felt rushed, and a lot of things didn't make sense. Whereas with Mandalorian, they have an opportunity to take their time. Yes, 38 minutes is a little short for that time, but for the most part, each episode is introducing a character that is, it's a lot better to introduce them that way for fanfare as opposed to just cramming them in for a quick cameo.
Right, and like you when you're talking about that, yeah, you're definitely right. They do feel like side quests, Mudini. And I to see all your text there. But what you need to understand though with this is that again, like to shadow kind of what you're saying, the movies have a specific point A to point B to point C they got to get to in a certain time frame. These guys, like Filoni specifically, come from cartoon backgrounds.
Mm-hmm.
We've said this before. This show is basically a live action cartoon. It's just targeted more for a little bit of an older audience. Really, everybody at the end of the day, honestly. But it's meant to be like that and feel that episodic as well too, because it's just the medium that it lives in, for that matter. And while yes, there's an overall arc, we don't have to hurry up and get there in an hour and a half, 2 hours.
I don't want to.
And you don't want to. And that's just it. And like, it's a big fucking galaxy.
Yep.
And there's a lot of, like, what are the chances of people crisscrossing? Well, that's a different argument, I suppose. But like, more importantly, what it is that there's a lot of space out there to cover, quite literally, and a lot of people you can. And it's more interesting to deal with these like side characters and these not so big characters, because the movies focus on the most powerful characters in the galaxy. And while that's fun and that's crazy and cool stuff happens, the difference is that this kind of grounds it a little bit and makes it feel like it's more something that you can relate to with these characters. You know, think of it like your car. Like, oh, I'm going to my fucking job. Mando's on his job and his car breaks down. Like, he's a fucking bounty hunter.
Right.
He's not the bounty hunter. He's a bounty hunter.
Right.
Right. You know, he may be a big name someday, but he's got to work his way up to that point. And that's what's different about these, is that they just feel so much more, I don't want the realistic's clearly not the word, but just so much more relatable to everything that's going on. So like, you know, it gives more substance to Mando's growth if he's got these kind of side quests, because he meets interesting people. I mean, think of it like an RPG. If you're playing The Witcher 3, if you're just playing the main story, then you're missing out on like 50%, 60% of the game.
That adds a lot of depth to a lot of the main missions.
Right. Because it will also eventually, you'll see that type of growth happen with characters instead of it being forced in one storyline. And that's, I think, part of the piece of it. And, you know, and the Bo-Katan stuff and the stuff they're setting up. Here's the thing with Filoni you got to be careful of. All these side quests and all these little things, and and you'll see it in the season. I've already seen some of the clips that they come showing. There's little things that they are doing that he will come back to. These little strings and these little you know, watermarks and stuff like that, or bookmarks, what you want to say. They're going to come back. That's going to come full circle to something.
Mm-hmm.
So this meeting with Bo-Katan, that's just the first one.
Right.
She's doing this thing. That's just the first one. We might we might see a fucking war on Mandalore trying to take it over.
Right.
In 2 seasons down the road. We don't know that yet.
And see, I like that, man. I like the fact that I want them to take their time with this. I want it to make sense, but at the same time, I want that development. I want to know about these characters that I might have missed out on and see how they're integral to the overall arching plot of what we're seeing of Deliver the Child to whoever. I don't want this to go fast. You know what I'm saying? I don't want it to end quick. I mean, we see what happens when you end shows quick. Game of Thrones. When they end shit quick, it's a complete shit show, and you're just like, fuck, man, you rushed it.
Rise of Skywalker's.
I mean, all these movies, even the mainstream movies are just, there are a lot of questions, so take their time and explore like you said, it's a huge galaxy, man. There's a lot of fucking characters out there. That's why I like Rogue One. Side story. Rogue One was fucking sweet, man. I loved Rogue One. I loved Rogue One.
Rogue One's amazing.
What do you got? I know you're thinking. It looks like you were thinking over there.
Well, Panic said something early on in El Blanco. He's like, I like it, but it's a bit of Mando. Talk to this guy to find out where you need to go, then rinse and repeat.
See, and that part, I get that. That's honestly how I felt, too. When I first started watching, I was like, man, who are these? But then the more you explain, like, this is actually a really big character in lore. That's where I'm just like,
right.
You know what? I appreciate the fact that they're taking their time. These aren't just one-off characters. These are legitimate characters in lore,
right?
That I haven't seen yet. That I'm getting in this story,
and you're getting introduced to. And I think that's part of the point I want to say, because like, if we want to just end, if they said they got 2 seasons, well then clearly we're trying to get that child to whoever he's got to get to at the end of the season. We're done. Move along. But I'd rather have 6 seasons of like a little bit more, like it's like going to fucking Subway and getting a turkey sub and saying, let's go with turkey sub. No, throw some fucking extra ham in that shit. Give me that double meat or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, give me a little bit more on that. And I think that's the whole thing, is that they want that. What did I say earlier? We call it the full buffalo. Let's get the full buffalo. We want everything on that. Let's use everything. Let's get as much content in there as we can. And because it's Filoni and it's in the Filoni verse, and he did the Clone Wars and the Rebels, and everybody loves these. When you've watched them and you're a serious hardcore fan, you've seen them, you want more of that. You want more of those characters. You want more of those stories. That's why it's important like this, and that's why at the end of the day, it's a live action cartoon. When you look at it as more like a live action cartoon, that's kind of really. I think for me it puts it in perspective, and I can't get enough of it. And like, if that means we gotta have a couple more episodes just to add some more characters live action, or some silly side quest that feels unimportant, all right. But if it brings in guys like Clancy Brown as a character out of nowhere, as a Delorean, fuck it.
Yeah, no, and that's what I like about it, man. If these were just missions where it wasn't involved Bo-Katan, or it wasn't involving the Marshal or any of that stuff.
Yeah, keep in mind he's a bounty hunter. He's got jobs he's still got to do.
Yeah,
he's got to make money.
He's a bounty hunter. That's his job. And it's just like, but the fact that he's crossing paths with some of these characters that I didn't know about. I mean, had I gone to you and been like, who's the Marshal? And you're like, I don't know who the fuck that is. Then it would have been like, oh, well, that's kind of a waste of time.
Womp.
But when you're like, no, this is so-and-so, or this is Bo-Katan, and this, I'm just like, oh, okay. All right, so this is an integral part of the Star Wars universe. This is a meaningful character. That's where I'm just like, okay, I dig this. I can get down with this.
And then, and like, at the end of the day, a character like Bo-Katan, who is honestly not she's really like a B+ character. She's not a character in like Clone Wars or Rebels. She just happens to be a character who her voice person looks similar to, can play in live action, but is a very interesting integral character, again, that has so many like interesting nuances that threads through her that might not be big story arcs, but are pieces of some of those story arcs that makes her interesting. She fills in a lot of substance in the entire series when you talk about the cartoons in general, and the fact that she is still alive and kicking, which, I mean, it's only 6 years since A New Hope at this time. There's a lot going on with her.
And the thing that I like that you say there is, she's a B+ character. A B+ character doesn't make it into a mainstream movie. It's simple as that. Being a B+ character who is big in the cartoon is not going to make it into a mainstream movie.
Correct.
Whereas if you have The Mandalorian, a live-action series that's probably got multiple seasons planned, that not only allows you to bring them into the story, but allows you to flesh them out and make them relevant, and that's fucking dope.
And that's deep. I'm gonna come back.
Thanks for that follow, Mood.
Panica says, I heard the landing scene in the episode was a lift from Apollo 3. A little Bryce Dallas Howard did direct the side. I'm glad you brought that.
Too.
She did the one in last season too that had the ATST by the pirates that was all painted up. Just like her father, she's got quite directing chops, because he saved Solo, which is a very underrated Star Wars flick. She's like that. Those homages and those little Easter eggs are what's great about this series, because there's a lot of that shit going on. Blanco, CJ, Kenzie. So they keep saying, no, Fulcrum, pretty much the jig was up in the second season of Rebels. That was just her undercover name, and that's pretty much it since the Galactic Civil War is over.
Tricky Regent wants to see a live action Thrawn.
One of the greatest. Yeah, I'm Tricky. I'm telling you, at this point, now that we've seen something like Bo-Katan, I think and if we literally get Ahsoka in this, that's stepping stones. There's definitely potential, because we don't know where Ezra Thrawn's still at in this series and timeline and everything, that's still highly possible, and that would be fucking
I'd be
insane.
shocked if we didn't see these characters.
That would be insane. That would be dope, but for sure. Yeah, Blanco's got a lock there. What's he saying? Basically, want to see no quest. It's too closely. Jesus.
Yeah, and then it's not so good. Then it's not quite appealing.
Yeah, Blanco, are you drinking?
Blanco's drunk, so that's okay. But overall, no. I mean, these were entertaining episodes, and like I said, I enjoy learning this stuff. I mean, this is stuff that I just didn't simply know. And I mean, sure, some of the diehard fans, maybe this isn't enough, but I mean, you're a diehard fan, and you were psyched as fuck about the third episode. So I know that's what I like to see. I mean, I know at the end of the day, we're gonna find out what the end game is with the overarching story. But along the way, if I'm meeting characters that maybe I missed out on that are important in the lore, I'm down with that, dude. And they're exciting episodes. These are fun episodes to watch. They play out great. The action's good. It's fun. There's funny. There's humor. There's action. It's everything you want in a Star Wars show.
The last thing I'll say, and like the fact that it's called as a big Boba Fett fan since I was a kid, the fact that we're getting Mandalorian just generally as a series got me excited because I'm like, I love Mandalorians. Clearly, I love Boba Fett, even though it technically wasn't.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that this has grown from just being the Mandalorian, and in the first season you're seeing more Mandalorians, and now you're seeing more Mandalorians. Mandalorians were basically a crew of people who you just heard about, or in the old days in old Star Wars EU, or rarely saw anything unless it's some of the old games and stuff like that. And Filoni's definitely been a huge one to embrace them and flesh them out. And that's honestly one of the most exciting things about it, is that you're seeing all these Mandalorians all because they're fucking cool, man. They're fucking space cowboys,
right?
And they're war-faring people. They tried the pacifism thing, it didn't work out. They got wiped out, and now they're trying to do their thing again. That's exciting. So keep it going.
Yeah, so awesome stuff. We will be talking about chapters
Chapter
12 and 13 on the next episode. So make sure you watch this Friday. Watch next Friday, and we'll talk about that as well. We'll get Tone's thoughts and everything there. I mean, it was really cool being able to sit down and talk to him after the show and be like, so why was, what's this? And he point things out, and you're just like, oh shit, that's pretty dope. So he's drunk, he's pissing himself and spilling beer all over the place. Better hurry up and get through this next segment. But no, we can't hurry because this is a dope ass movie. Now look, next week is Thanksgiving. Okay, we talked about it before. Arguably the best holiday. We get to eat a lot, but there are, a lot of people talk about Christmas movies. There's a lot of great Christmas movies, but there's also some pretty awesome Thanksgiving movies. Now, the one we're going to talk about is arguably the biggest Thanksgiving movie ever made.
Honestly, I don't even know if the other ones are even as comparable.
The other ones aren't on the same level, but there are a couple that I really do like that I'll throw a little nugget to when we get to it. But let's jump into the main conversation as we explore Thanksgiving. 2-part series. We're going to talk about 2 things at Thanksgiving. First,
planes, trains, and automobiles, and that's John Candy, R.I.P.
John Candy, Steve Martin, the quintessential Thanksgiving movie. This was a John Hughes joint, wasn't it? John Hughes joint, and this movie is still one of the funniest holiday movies ever made.
Yeah,
you basically have John Candy doing the Nicolas Cage version of comedy, over the top and just great. But here's the thing about it, man. It's a moving performance, especially when you get to the end.
Oh, yeah.
The ending, you're just like, oh, shit.
Yep.
It chokes you up because you're just like, oh, shit, you really... the car rental scene, yes. I want one fucking car fucking now.
You're fucked.
Oops. What she say? She goes, oops. Oops, what? You're fucked. Yep. Trains, Planes, and Automobiles is absolutely amazing. It's a hilarious movie, but I know you wanted to talk about it because you just watched it again.
Yeah. So, growing up, we lived out in the country. The only people that had good cable or internet was my grandparents. They had satellite. Well, that left the opportunity for my grandma, who didn't work, my grandpa did, to literally just tape movies on VHS and just...
Yep.
We'd get a VHS every couple of weeks or months or something with 6 movies on it.
Yep.
And Planes, Trains, and Automobiles was one of those ones that I loved. John Candy. But Uncle Buck is such a legendary movie. I watched that fucking movie. Macaulay Culkin's in it.
Yep.
I watched that movie non-stop. And I fucking love John Candy. The dude's hilarious. If it was John Candy was in a movie, it it was going to be something I was going to watch and enjoy, even if it was a cameo. He's in Home Alone for a minute too, where also Macaulay Culkin's in.
Yep.
The Planes, Trains, Automobiles was one of those movies as a kid, like, you know, growing up watching SNL even as a kid, and because my parents watched SNL, and I made the joke to you earlier. It said Steve Martin has always habitually looked like he was in his 40s
Like
or
Paul
something.
Rudd, he just never ages.
He
looks the same
got
every time
great
see
in
it.
his like 30s, and so and it's a shame because in this movie he's reserved. He plays a different type of character, so you're getting you're like, wow, like, and he plays that character really well. It's just like you're not getting full on Steve Martin at all. But John Candy, it just kind of gives him the openness to just be this character that he is.
Yeah, Steve Martin's more of it's more dry humor, more subtle.
Right.
You know, he's the complete polar opposite of that, and that's what makes it work. It's like, you know, what's that movie with Walter Matthau and Jack Lemmon I'm thinking of?
Grumpy Old Man?
The Grumpy Old Man, but they're
that's not
one from like that's like been a play.
Dennis the Menace.
You're so absolutely useless. But no, it's just like that the differences between the two, and they play it so well. And this movie has legit sad
That's
parts.
what I was
it really
gonna
does.
say.
Panic. It does. It has like I said, the ending really. Once you piece everything together and Steve Martin figures out what's going on with John Candy, it hits you because the entire movie is comedy.
It's
the whole
fucking
way.
ridiculous.
It's hilarious.
The whole movie's
it's
ridiculous.
absurd. But then when Steve Martin pieces everything together and discovers, you know, what's the Odd Couple. Thank you, Panic. They're like the Odd Couple. They really are. And you know, just the dynamic between the two. But then, like you said, when Panic says that once you get to the ending, especially, and you figure out what's going on, you're just like, oh shit. And that's why this movie is so good, because and that's why I like these comedies that are hilarious, even the raunchy ones. But when they have that underlying story that is heartfelt, that is hard to pull off. I mean, there are some raunchy ass movies, Role Models with Paul Rudd and Seann William Scott. That is a raunchy fucking movie. But man, the underlying story of it all is so heartfelt. You're just like, this is a feel-good movie. Right. It's really good. And that's what Planes, Trains, and Automobiles is. It's raunchy, it's hilarious, it's absurd, but at the end of the day, you're just like, fuck, man, it's really good.
Right, and though it's dated for the timepiece, like there's
the
no
music,
cell phones,
especially.
Yeah, the music, and they're doing the credit cards. Like, I haven't seen a credit card machine.
Yeah.
I haven't seen that in so long, so it's just funny to see that kind of stuff. But again, the message, it definitely has those soft spots, and that's the whole overall thing about it. But it's everything in between, the ridiculousness and the moral and the message and the family and the Thanksgiving and just everything about it. But man, I'll tell you what, like there's nothing, like there's great comedy. We've had, I mean, even you can even say guys like Kevin Smith have redefined in some way certain comedy aspects over the last 20 years.
Yep.
But there's still something to say about these guys that came from like SCTV and SNL and these guys from the old days.
Yep.
That just, man, like Dave Thomas and fucking Rick Moranis doing the fucking
the McKenzie brothers.
Like shit like that. Like this comedy, like that comedy is so good to me.
Did you ever see Strange Brew, the movie?
Absolutely. Oh yeah. You know, like old stuff like that, and I'm old clearly, so like I'll be nostalgic about it, but like to me that stuff's timeless. This is a movie you can still watch today and still enjoy it. It was great. I actually rented it on Google Play. And played it on my big screen without the some of the settings changed, and it was it was like 4K close, and I was like, this looks crystal clear, and this is like a 87 movie or 88 or whatever it was, and I saw I'm blown away by that technology, by the way, that these movies can look that good.
Oh yeah.
But man, I got to tell you, like it is, there's just something about these movies, and maybe people that, you know, that were born in the last like 10, 20 years, maybe they don't get it, and maybe it's just a different time, you know, whatever. But I feel like, man, like John Candy, like it's such a shame he's not here, because I feel like his career could have continued. He's still funny. And Steve Martin, like when he's on SNL or does one bit, Steve Martin's still funny to me.
Yep.
Like these guys like Martin Short, still funny to me. Like they do their shit.
Three Amigos.
Oh, dude.
With Steve Martin, Chevy Chase, and Martin Short.
Fucking still hilarious.
Shit, dude.
That shit's still hilarious. And this stuff is still funny.
Yep.
But overall, it is there's not a lot, you know, like this is the Thanksgiving movie for me.
Yep.
But even though it is, you know, a Thanksgiving movie, like you can watch it anytime. It's definitely got a great message. And honestly, my biggest odd complaint is the awkward moment at the end of the movie when they get home. And his wife's standing there on the stairs, like acting like he's been in the army for 2 months and She thought he was dead,
Uh-huh.
and she's staring at him like this. She's just like she looks like a
Fuck you
vampire.
been?
Yeah, kind of like thing. And it's like, but she's sad at the same time. Like I don't know what the actress's name is. It's very awkward. And like there's this awkward moment with John Candy and her staring. And he's like,
Yeah,
"Hey, Mrs.
your
Page."
husband brought me home to bang.
Yeah. Hey, Mrs. Page, kind of thing. And like it's a really weird. Like I looked at the wife and I was like, this is weird, right? Like there's some weird like awkward moment here. Now and it was just you got. I'm serious. When you watch it, you got it. I'm telling you, it's a weird moment. Like I don't know.
But now you ruined it for me because when
Yeah.
that scene comes up, and be like, dude.
I'm telling you, the end of the movie is like because you get the heartfelt. He's sitting in the train station. He goes back and get him. When they get back to the house, I'm getting fucking threesome vibes. I'm just saying.
Steve Martin goes through extraordinary lengths to run a cuck
I'm just
session at
saying.
home.
I'm just saying she's Roxanne. 3 ways.
Oh my god! Gee, you just ruined this fucking
And
movie.
Grandpa and Grandma are sitting right there too, and they're not paying attention. But there's these weird shit going on, man. Watch it. I'm telling you, everybody, just rent the movie. Whatever you got to do, fast forward. I'm telling you. I'm telling you.
Fucking ruined that movie.
Look it up. Somebody find a clip. YouTube that shit.
I'm sitting there thinking, oh, he's being a nice guy. Let him come home and have Thanksgiving dinner. No, he's actually there to fuck his wife.
No,
Oh, cool.
yeah,
That's
no,
awesome.
he's giving her the fucking like, the fucking eyes. Right, sorry. Autoerotic, yeah. Planes, trains, and autoerotica.
Planes and running trains on my wife.
There you
Awesome.
go.
Starring Steve
Yeah.
Martin and John Candy. Wow,
R.I.P.
unbelievable.
Uncle Buck for life. What up?
Just absolutely ruined it.
You're
No,
welcome.
It's hilarious. It's a funny movie, but there are some other Thanksgiving movies more under the radar stuff. One of them that I happen to like is called Home for the Holidays. I don't know if you've ever seen that with Holly Hunter, Robert Downey Jr., Steve Guttenberg.
I think I have.
It's more focusing on like the dysfunctional nature
I'm
of
pretty
this
sure
family.
I've seen that. Yeah,
But it's actually really good. It's actually a really good movie. Robert Downey Jr. is really awesome in it. Holly Hunter's in it. Home for the Holidays is really good. And then obviously if you like Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, there's like the cheap version called Dutch with Ed O'Neill and Ethan Embry, I believe his name was, the child actor. But he's basically, and Joe Beth Williams, so basically him and Joe Beth Williams had a child. They got divorced. Ed O'Neill's been gone, and she's like, hey, I need you to bring him home from this, like, he goes to, like, this real ritzy academy. She is now married to the guy who plays Shooter McGavin in Happy Gilmore, Christopher McDonald.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, Penny Games knows. Dutch is actually really good. And Ed O'Neill has to pick up this kid and drive him across country back home for Thanksgiving. It's very much, you can see the comparisons between this and Planes, Trains, and Automobiles, but it's awesome because Ed O'Neill's really good in this movie.
Oh, that
So
sounds
it's called
awesome.
Dutch. I actually think Christopher Columbus is involved in it somehow. I think Chris Columbus.
Yeah, but he's been dead for like 200 years.
Not that Chris Columbus.
Oh,
But no, it's really good. Dutch is actually a really
400 years.
underrated Thanksgiving movie, and it's actually pretty funny. There's some hilarious scenes in it.
Ed O'Neill's a 10.
I love Ed O'Neill.
Yeah, he's
I
hilarious.
can't stop thinking about that. You just ruined that fucking
I'm
movie.
telling you, when you get to the end and you see the way John Candy's looking at his wife, it's
Jay McKenzie has the realistic approach. Nah, he was almost a week late, and she had the kids by herself. Basically, she went through hell while he was out playing cards at traveling sales. There's the more logical look at the ending of she's pissed. She's like, I've been here with these
she looked like
fucking
a
kids.
horny vampire. It was weird,
Will you
like
stop?
Bram Stoker vampire. Like
We're gonna move on to the next
I'm
segment
just-
and wrap up the show before you turn into a total fucking pervert and ruin everything. You'll probably ruin this next segment, which is gonna piss me off because I'm super excited to talk
this
about
is
this.
okay. We've been talking about this on social media for a few days. This is the segment.
This is the segment.
This is the segment.
We've talked about a lot of good stuff tonight, but this is the main segment
This is the
because
segment. All the other
we're big
segments
guys
don't
and we
matter.
like to eat.
Right.
It's
This is the
discussion
segment.
time. It's discussion time.
Let's get real, everybody. Drop back.
Boom.
Take it
Okay,
serious.
look at you can
Look at
almost
that.
smell.
Look at that. Oh.
Okay, stop. Oh my God, you're like, oh my! I don't even want to say where you were at. when you
What?
did that.
I'm getting the stuffing out. Don't worry.
Yeah, I
Or
bet you were. You
or am I
fucking
stuffing it?
pervert. Anyways, so one. Can't take this dude anywhere. Stop it.
Wait, I'm trying to figure
This
it
is
out.
a PG-13 show.
No, it's not.
It's really
The
not.
Fuck, it is.
I know. See, Panic. That's how he rolls. He's a fucking pervert.
Yeah.
Anyways, the one thing we wanted to talk about tonight, because it's Thanksgiving week coming up, and obviously we like to eat, and there's a lot of good food that comes out of Thanksgiving. But I think one of the interesting conversations to be had is What is on your plate? What do you have to have on your plate? Now, before we get into it, we're going to list 5. We're going to ask you all to list 5 things that you have to have on your plate at Thanksgiving. 5 things. Now, 2 things we're not going to include.
Right.
Because they're almost like universal.
This will be part. Yeah, these 2 things are going to be.
They're a part of it automatically. Biscuits and gravy.
That's just going to be part. That'll be.
That is automatically included.
You don't have to list that. Yep.
So, like, if you're looking at this as a diagram for children, you'll see an empty plate, and on the side a biscuit and a cup of gravy. Now you're supposed to just fill in 5 items you have to have at your family Thanksgiving.
Now, do you want them to rank them number 1 through 5? What's important?
I think we're going to start at the top. So the thing we need the most.
With the thing we need the most is number 1.
Is number 1.
Okay.
Well, actually, how do we? I want to try to because I want number 4 and 5 to be the real conversation because I feel like that's where things.
We'll see. That's what I was saying before. Remember now you see when I'm my dilemma earlier.
Okay, now I understand what you're saying. All right, well we'll try this.
Okay.
What is the most common thing that you would have on your plate first? That a lot of people would probably have. Like turkey is obviously one of the most common things.
Sure. Okay. Are you want me to say?
I'm gonna go with turkey. I'm gonna go with turkey first.
Are you gonna say your 5 first? Or we're gonna go back and forth.
We'll go back and forth. We'll go back and forth.
So so then I will also say what I like to do is I like to have a slice of the white meat from the breast, and then I'm one of the ones that take the leg, the drumstick as well.
One of the drum. You don't even ask anybody either, do you?
Actually, my family knows typically that I'm one of the drumstick people.
Okay.
Because not everybody cares about it. But that meat on that fucking drumstick.
I do love it. I love it good. And the thing is, man, I was kind of hoping that, had we been able to do our show on Thanksgiving week, we had to adjust our schedule.
Yeah.
My dad typically brings over like 8 barbecue turkey legs the week of Thanksgiving. And I was going to have them live, eat those live.
I'm coming over next Wednesday. Fuck you.
You're not welcome
I'm
over
coming
here.
Over here.
You're not welcome over here.
Your kids will let me in.
So you start with turkey. I'm going to start with turkey as well. I do like a slice of the breast, and I do like a drum if it's available. But I typically don't take one because I have 8 in the fridge downstairs that I don't tell anybody out that my dad brings over.
Yeah, I like that.
So I like the barbecue wings. I love my turkey. Now I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you like your turkey?
Not dry.
You don't like it dry? That's exactly what I was going to ask you. Do you like it dry or do you like it super moist?
It's got to be moist. And thankfully, now that my grandmother's, only one grandma ever got that right.
Really?
Yeah, and she was the one that had the best food.
I'm one of the weirdos. I actually like them dry. I like them dry simply because, honestly, if it's dry, that means the skin is much crispier, and I love crispy turkey skin. I'm the dude that sits there like if I were to go out there with the turkeys there before everyone else, and you come back out, all the skin's gone. And I'm just like, I
don't care about the skin, but dry?
Oh, yeah. I'm not talking like dry where I got to dip it in water. Not like Clark Griswold in Christmas Vacation when he opens it up and it's dried out completely. I like a little bit of dryness to my turkey. A little bit of dryness.
I want mine so moist you could fuck it.
Jesus.
I'm just saying.
This show just went
I'm being honest. What's going
on?
Hey,
do me a
judge
favor
me.
And fucking lie, will you? Stop being
judge
honest.
Me. Just judge me. Zin gets it.
Zin get it right.
See? Barry gets it. Everybody's getting it.
Jeez.
I'm just saying.
All right, so far we've got people saying, Kronos wasn't paying attention. Gravy, we already know. Gravy's already included in that. So number 2 is mashed potatoes. So his number 1 is mashed potatoos. I like them dry. The dude79. I'm going to make an out-of-context clickbait article with that quote. Wow. And if you take that out of context, it sounds like I should be in handcuffs.
I want it moist.
Anyways. So turkey is number 1. All right,
yes.
Number 2. Now, this is where we might differ a little bit.
We're going to differ on this one, I guarantee.
Go ahead.
I'm going next.
2. Yep.
Stuffing.
Ooh.
And here's the thing about stuffing. Stuffing is very important. Like, I love stovetop because of the flavors. There's a lot of... And I'm not normally a salt person, but they're kind of salty. It's got all the herbs and all the I can't even, who knows where all the names of them are, the fucking spices, whatever.
Sure.
Anyways, but I do love some great homemade stuffing, but the problem is there's 2 types of homemade stuffings. Wet bread and like an enjoyable stuffing. Now, honestly, sometimes the stovetops are like on point though too.
Stovetop can be good.
If it's wet fucking bread stuffing, like this, it's sweet wet bread that's been baked.
Yeah, no, I'm good.
No, you take the bowl, if it's on the counter, you throw on the ground, throw on the floor, and blame one of the other kids in the area.
I can't believe I'm actually sitting here next to you right now.
I'm just saying. Listen. I like mashed potatoes and gravy like everybody else. Do not get me wrong, but I prefer this. I don't know what it about stuffing. It's stuffing.
My number 2 is going to be mashed potatoes.
Yep.
But if you just throw a bunch of potatoes and whip them up and serve them, we're gonna have issues.
Do you like them lumpy?
Well, it's not even so much that. I don't care if they're lumpy.
Okay.
I don't care if they're creamy or what. I mean, obviously, I don't want them like soup. I want it to have some texture. I want it to have some consistency to it. But if you want to impress me, if you want to make me smile, throw in some garlic or throw in some. Dude,
doctoring. Yes, doctoring.
Horseradish. Have you ever done that?
I would.
Dude, horseradish whipped red skin potatoes. My mother-in-law makes this, and I'm telling you guys right now, whipped red skin potatoes with horseradish in it. It's on point.
Dude, she's single?
Incredible. No, she's not. But if you want to go more traditional, garlic with some other seasonings in it, give it some flavor.
Bacon bits or shred cheese, even a little anything to doctor them up is great.
Yeah. If you just throw in mashed potatoes and some salt and pepper, we're gonna have issues.
And it's not
Be
the same.
creative for Thanksgiving.
Instant potatoes are not the fucking same. Like,
No.
I'm sorry. Boil the goddamn things. Take a
Thank
couple.
you.
You got all day to cook your shit. I like mine lumpy personally a little bit.
I don't mind having a little bit. I don't mind having some lumps in it. I just don't want to. I don't want to I don't want to be like cut up.
It doesn't got to be President's United States lump, but it's got to have a little lump in it. That's all I'm saying. Little lump.
Redskins, milk,
We're
butter,
gonna come back to it. You guys got some great lists.
DG's got it right there.
We're coming back to some stuff. We're gonna
Redskins, milk, butter, garlic, and oregano. Now those are good potatoes right there. I can get down with that. We're gonna come back to some of these lists. We're definitely gonna come through what you guys are saying.
You guys got some good stuff.
So number 3.
That's where I bring in the mashed potatoes.
You're going mashed potatoes at 3. Okay.
Yeah, so and we're not. Are we still ranking them number 1, or we're just?
My 4 and 5 are going to be the ones that are going to be outside the box.
Okay, so that's where I'm going to leave mine, because then I don't think they're as outside. But my favorite will actually probably be the last one.
Okay.
So yes, I'm going mashed potatoes and gravy is my 3rd.
Okay.
Again, and at this point, so now that I brought the mashed potatoes and gravy, here's the important piece: is when you're building your plate. For me, you got your turkey.
Yep.
Next to it's the stuffing.
Sure.
And then you bring in the mashed potatoes and gravy.
And what ties them all together, Tom?
The gravy ties them all together. Now, you can put it on your turkey if you want. I don't always do that, but it's very important that gravy that's homemade there from the broth itself must go on that stuffing and the mashed potatoes.
Agreed 100%.
With a little bit of pepper on top too.
A lot of pepper.
That's fair too.
I'm a big pepper guy.
I'm not a salt guy, so I'm a pepper guy.
I'm a huge pepper guy.
Fair enough. So that's got to happen. Grandma's homemade rolls with a shit ton. Goddamn right, man, Moody.
Moody knows what's going on, dude. That's why we included rolls, because I feel like you have to have rolls.
That roll's going to be there regardless. But if it comes from Frank's or Kroger, not the same.
Yeah, but if you're doing homemade shit like Houdini's talking about,
yeah, Grandma makes a homemade. There's a homemade roll recipe.
It's a huge perk, on the side.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you said, the gravy is important as well. If you make it from the broth, and you throw some flour in it, throw some seasoning in it, and really make it just like.
Got to be on that stuffing too.
Oh God, just drizzle it all over the place.
Drizzle.
My number 3 is, and this is going to be crazy because stuffing is not even in my top 5. Stuffing is not my top 5. I like stuffing. Don't get me wrong. If I'm hungry, I'll eat some more. That's more
Hello in there, turkey. What do you think about that?
Hello. You carry that baby, and I don't even appreciate it.
Oh my God, that's terrible.
No, I get it. You're not wrong. But I love corn. I know you're not a fan of it, but I love corn casserole. And the corn casserole I have is like a mixture of corn and cornbread, and it's all mixed up, and it's special. It's not just like corn on the cob,
or the cream of corn. The corn casserole I had,
it has substance, it has texture to it, it's consistent. It's a nice corn casserole, and I dig corn.
Like I said, if anybody remembers the Chi-Chi's used to have the sweet corn cake roll, like the little balls. Now, since you said it was like that interests me.
I like what Zin said. Honorable mention to deviled eggs.
Oh,
big
absolutely.
time. Like now in the Thanksgivings that I've been a part of, deviled eggs are more of kind of like the warm up. I don't typically include that on my main entree plate.
Sure.
But if somebody has a fucking like dish of deviled eggs, I am rating that thing.
Oh.
There's gonna be people going around going, "Who's eating all this shit?"
Right.
And then I fart, and they're like, "Oh, it was him."
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it was him. No, I love deviled eggs, and I will smash them, but I don't include them in the main entree.
My wife makes deviled eggs with a little bit of bacon bits and a little bit of shredded cheese and a little bit of sriracha.
Oh, sriracha!
Just a little, just for a little kick.
Truly, she's going for like the deviled eggs.
Oh, dude, and they are fucking amazing.
Kind of hot.
Yeah,
it's kind of hot.
I love deviled eggs though.
All right,
Pulling a Baby
now
Yoda.
I feel like we've gotten the more traditional stuff out
So
of the way.
that's the big three. Yeah. That's the.
But
that's
now I
the-
feel like the 4 and 5 slot is where there's a lot of room to maneuver. There's a lot of different various opinions. And like I said, we're going to come back and touch on some of these things that people have been saying in the chat because I do want to get their thoughts on stuff. But I feel like 4 and 5 is where you start to see certain things kind of like, oh, I would have never thought of that. Let you go right now with number 4.
So 4 for me is actually still pretty traditional. Sounds like you're gonna do some crazy shit, but
Oh, yeah.
I actually love cranberry sauce. I think Cap's also a fan of it, and I don't give two shits if it looks like the inside of a fucking can,
Oh, my.
or if it's made like some form of like casserole, like cranberry casseroles. Like some people in my family make some crazy cranberry dishes with like actual cranberries or like craisins or whatever. I love that shit. I love cranberry sauce, and you know what? If some of the gravy ends up on your fucking cranberry sauce, I don't give a fuck. It's Thanksgiving. I don't give a fuck. You like sweet and salty? You ever had chocolate covered pretzels? Yeah, you have. You have.
I don't know if I can.
You
meet
had
you on
chocolate
that
on
one.
your
I don't know
nuts
if I can meet you.
before. Trust me,
I don't know if
I've
I can
seen
meet
it
you on that one.
live. But you know, my point is that cranberry sauce is a staple for me. It is in that top 5. If I have Thanksgiving and there's no cranberry sauce, I'm gonna fight somebody.
Now, do you like the cranberry sauce that's like more
All
of
of it.
more of a gel? Like
Don't care.
More of a gel, or do you like the one that has like actual clumps of like cranberry?
Doesn't matter. I'll
Doesn't-
eat them both.
Doesn't fucking matter.
I'd fucking open up a can of it and just spoon it out if I had to. I love cranberry juice. I love craisins. I love
I do
cranberries.
like cranberry juice. What is
love
it?
it.
Your period? You ever see The Departed?
Wow, that's awkward.
Can I have a cranberry and vodka? What is it? Your period? For my number 4.
Okay, I'm interested.
This is where my mother's side of the family comes into play.
Okay.
My mom's side of the family is Mexican, and my grandma Meyer, rest in peace. My mom, rest in peace. They made some of the best homemade tacos ever. And I'm talking like good ass homemade tacos.
Thanksgiving tacos.
Corn shells and soft shell and deep.
Fuck
I mean,
flour,
we're talking
by the
like
way. Corn shells all day.
Oh, I like flour too, but her corn shells.
But yeah, no.
They had the big tub of grease. I mean, they threw all that shit and just cooked. I mean, it was just like, dude, my plate would consist of a couple slices of turkey, the mashed potatoes, corn, and then like 4 tacos.
I want tacos with my Thanksgiving right now.
Dude, Grandma Meyer, seriously, made the absolute best tacos. And my mom was pretty fucking good at doing the same thing. And I mean, I'm talking, dude, like a huge bin of tacos because we all ate them. Like my cousins, we were all together. It was like a bunch of cousins. I have 4 cousins.
Just like beef.
Dude, it was beef. I mean, we ain't doing no bullshit.
Just like
beef tacos.
Okay.
And I'm talking like they had everything: turkey, mashed potatoes, stuffing, corn, and then over here, Mexican rice, tacos. It was a smorgasbord.
Ooh.
It was like 2 just massive units coming together to work together to create an amazing.
That's not at all what I expected to hear.
No, it ain't no taco turkey. I ain't doing that shit. These are straight tacos. Oh my god! See, Josh knows. Oh my god, the Felsing tacos were amazing growing up. They were legendary. They were legendary. I would eat 7 to 10 tacos on Thanksgiving and still find room for. Dude, how do you think I got this? You know what I'm saying?
I want some fucking tacos.
Grandma Meyer's tacos were the bomb, and Josh can agree with that. He understands what I'm talking about.
Okay.
So Grandma Meyer's tacos, the Jaime family, the Meyer family, the tacos.
That was a swerve. I did not expect to hear that.
Oh, dude, they were the centerpiece.
Okay.
Of our Thanksgiving dinner.
Okay,
All right.
Frank.
Well, you're on number what? 5?
I'm on 5.
You're on 5.
So here is for me, though it's the last. It is also the most important for me. Out of everything that's on my plate,
Oh my!
yes, this is the one, and it's not gravy with a straw, though some of the gravies are so good you could. This is whatever you call them. We called them candied yams, sweet potatoes. Some people,
Okay.
with tons of brown sugar, candied yams in a dish with a bunch of fucking marshmallows baked. That is the quintessential meaning to my Thanksgiving. Is the candied yams. That's my number one.
Yams.
If I had to say, I'm not really feeling the turkey today or the meat, I'll skip it and go to the yams if I had to. That's fine.
Wow.
I love candied yams,
Candy yams. Dude, Josh just told an awesome story. Still a funny story was my brothers went to high school with Josh, and their buddy Sean, who is legendary in many ways. He was eating the tacos that my mom had made. And obviously, when you make tacos, you have to put toothpicks in them. Keep them together while you fry them.
Yeah.
And Sean was just eating the toothpicks and all. He didn't even fuck around with the toothpicks. He was just eating the goddamn tacos like a madman and didn't even bother taking the fucking toothpicks out. It was incredible. And that's just how good they were, man. I'm telling you, they're amazing. Let me see. I make my candy yams topped with candied pecans.
Holy shit. Coming over next week.
Okay, Panic.
Great. Did somebody say gravy on a fupa?
Gravy Kronos, of course. You bring Kronos, and that's what you get. That's the type of material that you get. My number 5.
Okay, yeah, here it is.
This is something that, typically, I mean, I know there's people that talk about, like, the gizzards and all this stuff. When I went to, the one thing that I never used to dig was liver. And then I went to Zender's, and they have fried livers and onions. My mother-in-law makes fried liver and onions for Thanksgiving, and it is paramount that those are on my plate. I know, it's weird, and I don't give a fuck what y'all think. She seasons them not quite candy yams, but I need me some fried livers and onions. If I have that, turkey, mashed potatoes, corn casserole, and a taco with some gravy and biscuits on the side, Daddy's a happy man. I don't give a fuck what you think. You can come at me. Yeah, there it is. Ew! Yeah, that's right. That's right. I don't do what y'all do. I do my own thing. Now,
okay,
before you talk shit,
sure,
let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
Have you ever had fried livers? Like, now, I'm not talking about like the goofy kind. I'm talking about what they have at Zender's.
I haven't had them from Zender's.
Cool. I'm going to bring you some. I don't typically go to Zender's until Christmas time. I will order some and I'll bring you some, and then you're going to try it on the air, and I want to get your thoughts on it.
I will certainly do that.
Okay.
However, I do at least want to get this out real quick.
Okay.
This is America. And what you just said to me.
Thank you. Duty is dude. Boom. Liver and onions are the best, though.
Highly offended me, and I'm almost certain you're a communist. And I feel like I should call the authorities.
Yeah.
And I got.
And he's out.
I'm out.
No, man, it's the way when we
interesting liver and onion. I didn't like that. Like
I know it's not traditional, obviously, but when we go to Zender's, obviously Zender's is known for their chicken.
Yeah.
Obviously known for their chicken. But honestly, man, when I go there and I get their chicken's fine. But the way they cook their liver and onions,
are they chicken liver? Because
chicken livers, yeah, chicken livers. And they fry them, and they coat them in obviously
so it's gizzards,
flour, and flour and all that stuff. But they fry it up, and dude, the way they season it, and they have the onions in there, it is phenomenal. And then my mother-in-law started doing it, and I was like, you know what, these are pretty fucking close.
See my one grandma, the one that doesn't make the Thanksgiving stuff that I like as much. They put gizzards in their stuffing.
That I gotta have it fried. I can't have it like
no, it's awkward.
I can't do that. I can't do that. I gotta have it fried.
I
know there's some people that can just eat gizzards like warm them up.
No,
I can't.
no.
I can't do that. It's like any.
Are they
fat
the
guy.
same? Livers and gizzards? Are they the same?
No, it's livers. It's not gizzards. It's actual livers.
Okay.
Like if you open up the can, they're like chunks like this. There's lizards.
Fuck it. At this point, that's number 6.
I guess it's time to drink.
Guess we're gonna have gizzards, lizards, and liver on my Thanksgiving plate tonight. Only fuck gay. What a fuck
lizards. No, they are different things. These are actual.
Yeah, no, I am not helping.
Can't say lizards, not lizards. Livers.
This was.
No
I was
livers.
excited
I
about
can't do
this.
the gizzards.
I hope you cut this out.
No, man, I'm gonna leave this in so everyone understands that fried livers are absolutely. I may unfriend Brent in real life. I can deal with all the Michigan insults. This is just too far. Yeah, gizzards are from the throat. Yeah, no, these are actual fried livers, and they're phenomenal.
Okay.
If you ever in Michigan and you go to Zender's, obviously you can do the chicken, the mashed potatoes, and the butter noodles.
Butter noodles.
Butter noodles are fucking ridiculous. Grab an order of the fried livers. They are phenomenal.
You're going to get a takeout to this year, too.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so sadly, no livers for me.
I'm seriously, no, I will order some and I'll bring them home and I want you to try them. They're really good. Get the fuck out of here. But let's go through
Yeah, let's back it up a little bit.
Let's
see
back
what
it up
somebody-
and let's see what
I saw
everyone's
somebody
saying.
actually put pumpkin pie in there. Now, are people sacrificing their 5 dishes for?
No, yeah. And when you say pumpkin pie,
Oh no,
are you talking about on the plate with the turkey? Because I can't agree with this. I can't agree with having pumpkin pie
maybe,
on the plate
I don't know.
with the food.
Maybe they want 4 items on their main plate and a little plate with a little slice of pie.
Now, if you want to talk about desserts, then we can get into that too. I'm gonna say pecan pie over pumpkin pie.
I'll make some sweet love to pecan pie and then eat it.
You know what I should do? It's hilarious, man. When I started working at my job, I brought in some pumpkin pie at work, and I had my buddy Omar, one of the guys that I worked with. And I was like, "Hey, man, do you want some pumpkin pie?" And he looked at me and he goes, "Black folk don't eat pumpkin pie, man. We eat sweet potato pie." And there's a reoccurring thing. Every Thanksgiving, I'll take a picture of the pumpkin pie I'm eating, and I'll send it to him like, "You want some?" And he'll just write back, "You don't fucking listen, do you?" Absolutely love pumpkin pie, but pecan pie is where it's at. I gotta have pecan pie.
My family likes their pies, and they make it. There's an amazing recipe that goes around with my sister and everybody. The pecan pie, so fucking good. It is. It's not. I don't know if if pecan pie hits my top 3. It's probably in the 4. But man, oh man, if you can find a really good pecan pie all fucking day.
See now, Zin right there. Zin, I'm going to take that message. Bullshit. My black cousin makes the best pumpkin pie cheesecake. Boom. Go ahead and keep going. I'm going to text Omar.
Pumpkin pie cheesecake. I saw Pikachu said she's making some of that. She said
she's going to bring that shit over.
She said she was going to send us one of those for the show sometime.
Dude.
Thank you, Pikachu. We appreciate that.
If you do that, we will eat it live right here. Pumpkin pie cheesecake. We'll eat it live. December 2nd and December 16th. Those are our 2 last shows. If you can have us a pumpkin pie cheesecake, we'll eat it right here live. Go ahead and keep going.
She didn't say that. I'm just saying that's
messaging
now.
Omar
She's
right now.
talking right. Just saying. So I saw some. I saw a lot. Let's scroll. Scroll. I want to see some of the people's plates. So we don't want to back it up. We see anything? Definitely saw the deviled eggs, pumpkin pie. Panic apparently makes some great food. Panic. Why don't you make me some food? That's all I want to fucking know. Like. Somebody told me cranberry sauce goes in the trash. Whoever said that, you're a communist as well. Just gonna throw it out there. Like, I think Cap, right? You like cranberry sauce, right? I think it's Cap that's also another super fan of cranberry sauce. I can't get enough of that shit. Are you sure? I really think, Pikachu, you need to make us a cheesecake for the show. And I want to have pieces of that live, bites, whatever. What's happening?
No, I just messaged Omar. I want to get his thoughts on stuff. I like liver and onions, but fuck that for Thanksgiving. Damn, Panic. Damn, that's rude.
Liver and he's like, damn, that's rude. Whatever you look like communists over here. Like, oh, mommy, for Thanksgiving, I want some liver.
Man, I'm trying to get down here and find what everyone else said. There's so many.
Am I the only one that loves candied yams? I don't see a lot of that out there. I mean, do people call those differently? I mean, sometimes the sweet potatoes aren't as good as the candied yams to me. I like sweet potatoes, but man, cranberry sauce in the show.
We don't eat pumpkin pies. Tricky, what's wrong with pumpkin pies, baby?
I do. Well, here's the thing. Pumpkin pie is a very like. I feel like pumpkin pie is a 50-50. Either it's a good slice or it's a bad slice.
You can really fuck it up.
Bad. Yeah, and it comes down to the spice. And everybody knows I'm a basic bitch. I love my pea spice all day. But there's pumpkin pies I've had that are bullshit.
Yeah, they're trash.
Ironically, I feel like McDonald's pumpkin pies are a little bullshit. They're actually really fucking good for pumpkin pies. I think they got it right because they're kind of got some spice kick to it. But man, some pumpkin pies. And did anybody put whipped cream on them? Whipped cream got to go on that pumpkin pie, right?
I mean, yeah. I mean,
just checking. You're talking about livers on your fucking Thanksgiving plate.
If we're doing a plate of pie, I feel like whipped cream is the same as like gravy and biscuit. Like it's included.
Okay, Frank, I'm just checking.
Yeah.
I'm just checking. All right.
Yes, yams, marshmallow, and candied pecans on top.
That candied pecan thing. Shit ton of Cool Whip.
She's all about that Cool Whip.
She don't like the
chocolate cream pie.
They do a German chocolate pie in my family with the coconut and everything.
Yeah, okay.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm on board for that.
Dude, it is top fucking tier.
As you can see, we like talking about food. And that's something we're going to implement on the show in 2021. We're gonna start introducing a little bit more food
We've
elements.
had
some requests.
Yeah, we've had some.
Like, hey, check this out or check that out.
We wanted to do that more this year, but COVID kind of fucked that up for the exploring of some of the foods.
Yep.
But I think a good one to reach into and promote locally would be 99 Pharmacy.
99 Pharmacy down at the marketplace in Saginaw.
Great food around here. But yeah, we're gonna try and figure out how to implement food on the show as well too, because when you drink, you're hungry.
Yeah, you really are. I hate
Cheesecake.
doing this show and then going and spending $20 at Taco Bell in the drive-thru because I didn't have something right here to eat. Tony, man, had this show been next week, I would have had barbecue turkey legs right in front of you.
I gotta work later.
Oh, and so I have a response from my buddy Omar.
Oh, Omar responded.
Okay. Now, who was it that said, hold on a sec.
I think it was Zin.
Was it Zin? Okay, Zin.
Zin.
I said to Omar this. I'm doing a live show right now. I have a guy in the chat that says, bullshit, my black cousin makes the best pumpkin pie. So now we got issues, man, because pumpkin pie is the bomb. To which Omar says, they wasn't raised by black people. Hey, man, I'm just telling you what my boy says. He is offended. Offended when I send him pictures of pumpkin pie. Offended. I am black. I can confirm. See, Brian MX, he's confirming. I'm just saying. I can't. It is what it is. It is what it is. My man is brutal about pumpkin pie. He hates that shit. He's like, sweet potato pie all the way. And I've had sweet potato pie. It's good.
Oh, the sweet potato pie I've had pecans or maybe it was walnut on it, and it was really fucking good.
Oh shit! Well, Zin says he lives in Jackson, a Marine, and makes desserts for a living.
Oh
man!
Oh shit!
I would like to get him and Omar in the same room and have a discussion about pumpkin pie.
Oh man! As long as we can all agree at the end of the day,
it's food.
That pie is much better than cake. 'Cause cake's bullshit. Drink to that.
99% of the time, there are some cakes. When you get that double or triple layer of frosting in between every, you don't like cake at all.
It's all right.
Yeah, okay, I knew you were full of shit.
It's all right, man. Like honestly, cheesecake is the only cake I will go. Oh, this cake is cheesecake. Yeah. No,
well,
pies all day.
Hopefully, we'll have some cake or some pie, cheesecake.
Yeah, but I don't have to grab a glass of milk to drink my fucking pie. I need that for the cake.
Ooh, Brian says cake is better than pie.
No, that's controversial.
Oh.
Most
cake
is
oh,
not
wow.
moist.
Here we go. The chat's going. Most cake is not moist enough.
Cake is better.
Cake is better. Cake all day?
What is wrong with you people? Hey, you guys want some liver on your Thanksgiving plate too? You fucking communists.
Yeah, I do. I want some liver. I want some fried livers on my plate.
Fine.
Pie has
Bill
too much
Naps doesn't
filling.
exist. That's a lie.
I like the cake has like substance inside of it. I mean, it's like I said, you can fuck up cake really quick.
Pie Squad.
But pie
Hashtag
is
Pie Squad.
Pie Squad. I mean, like, man, you put a pecan pie in front of me.
Like if we always
away.
look back to the one once the great one, the people's champ, The Rock, he will tell you all day that pie is the way to go because you all know his favorite pie was poontang pie. So there you go. Pie is better.
I'm going to wrap this show up before you go. You're seriously going to get us written up so much.
I don't give a shit.
But no, this was a good conversation. This is something that we wanted to talk about because honestly, it's food, it's Thanksgiving, and there's so much diversity when it comes to Thanksgiving and what people want on their plate and what people like to eat.
Yes.
At the end of the day, I eat myself 5 or 6 plates, and then I go take a nap during the Lions game because I don't want to watch that shit. But you know what we will be watching this week, and we want you guys to check it out if possible.
If you're able to, we would love to have you do this
because we want to have a discussion about it on December 2nd.
Yes.
December 2nd is going to be a big show. Obviously, we're going to announce the winner for the PlayStation 5 disc version. One more time, I'll throw that in the chat. Enter in to win PlayStation 5 disc version and $50 PSN card, courtesy of one of our buddies in the chat. Peach cobbler is the actual king of desserts. Zach Dynamite makes a great point. Peach cobbler is
that's actually came out of nowhere, but that's a good fucking.
December 2nd is Kenny Omega versus John Moxley. I guess you're not watching that on December 2nd, Brian. So you can just DVR that shit and watch it another night.
I'll watch that the day after, but that's a good point too, Brian.
But we're going to announce the winner on December 2nd. You have not between now and then to enter. If you have any friends or family that you think would like a PS5 but also Send them over to the show. We will have links in the Discord. Make sure you have them join the Discord. There will also be links hidden elsewhere for those of you that take the time to explore. We're not going to post it on Twitter. We're not going to post it on Facebook. Whoever wins that PS5, please send me their address.
Yes.
No, we're really excited about that. And again, it's just to show our appreciation to all of you that tune in every week to keep us company, to share your opinions, to share your thoughts on stuff. We like to interact. We want to support you because you're really, really good to us. It's our way of saying thank you very much. But the next episode, we have 3 movies. 3 movies we're going to be talking about.
3 movies. If you can watch any of them, it'd be great to have that conversation.
One of them launches on Friday, which is Jinjitsu.
Jinjitsu with
Nicolas Cage, which is basically Predator meets Mortal Kombat.
Tony Jaa, Nicolas Cage, Frank Grillo. Yes, Frank Grillo.
I mean, it's going to be pretty dope.
Spaceman.
That launches on Friday night. Next Tuesday, Fat Man with Mel Gibson and Walton Goggins. Should be pretty dope. And then also, I think starting next week is Run, starring Sarah Paulson on Hulu. This is a thriller that's reviewing incredibly well. We're both big fans of Sarah Paulson. She's a very talented actress.
She's amazing.
She is really, really good. So we'll be watching those 3 movies between now and the next show. We'll have a lot to talk about then. And I believe it's possible on December 16th, we'll be doing our discussion for our favorite games of this.
Yeah, we're going to get into our Game of the Year.
We'll have a lot to talk about over the next couple episodes. And that'll wrap up 2020 or 2020? 2020, right?
Yes.
I have no idea. I'm buzzed up.
Yeah.
Is he the only person making movies? Nick Cage will always make movies.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter if there's a pandemic, an apocalypse,
or if it's a $7 million budget.
Dude, the world could blow up, and Nick Cage will be on one chunk of the planet filming National Treasure 3. Hopefully, you know.
John Boyd's busy.
That's all we're asking.
Shit.
Just give us National Treasure 3.
Isn't he the guy from Jake?
But we have like I said, so on December 2nd, we'll announce the winner of the PlayStation 5. We'll have a lot to talk about in terms of movies. We'll be talking about Mandalorian chapters 12 and 13.
Yes.
We'll have a lot of great stuff to talk about, so make sure you're caught up so you can be a part of the discussion as well. We appreciate each and every one of you for being here every single week. It means the world to us. If you enjoy this show, share the links, whether it's on YouTube, whether it's on iTunes, Spotify. If you listen to us on iTunes, give us a nice review. If you like the show, I don't want any fake reviews. If you dig the show, give us a 5-star review, write one up. That helps us get the exposure we need to reach out to other people that might be looking for this type of content. If you watch the videos on YouTube, give it a thumbs up. Comment. If there's something that we talked about that you haven't watched yet, like say if you haven't watched Mom and Dad yet, and you watch it, come back on YouTube, sound off in the comments, let us know what you think. This is why we do this show. We love the interaction with all of you. We want to get your thoughts on stuff, and it means the world to us that you guys are here every week. And this is just one of the many things we want to do to give back to all of you. If someone says something nice about Tone, it's a fake review. He's not wrong. He's not wrong.
Hey, I don't put liver on my fucking Thanksgiving plate, bro.
I do, and I'm a fucking man because of it. Damn it.
Where's the I want to finger the turkey again.
Stop.
What?
Oh, my God. You just fingered Baby Yoda.
Oh,
you
shit.
Fucking pervert. All right, we're going to wrap this up before he goes to jail.
What's going on?
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in tonight.
Appreciate you.
For Mr. Fanboytone, I'm TheDude79. There's been another episode of Banter and Babble. We'll see you back in 2 weeks. No B&B plays next week due to the holiday, but we'll be back on December 2nd to announce the winner of the PlayStation 5.
PS5. Check that link.
Have a good night, everybody. Take care. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to y'all. Love you.